So we're gonna make some tier lists, and it's gonna make people really angry, and it's gonna be fun. Because tier lists are fun, even though they're garbage. So the first one we're gonna do is we're gonna do an overall class rating going into launch. We're not gonna make any assumptions about the future. We can speculate about the AAs that were just announced. That's fine. But we're gonna make some guesses. Now, I don't think that any class is a D. So we're gonna change this to rating. And what this means is I'm gonna drag it up here. Because we have some criteria we're gonna use. So not a tier list, but a tier list. Exactly. Both. Both, Zaza, at the same time. We could call it a QQ list. How's that? Is that a thing people say still? So here's my categories for rating overall power. They're what they bring it for offense, what they do for your defense, what they add for your recuperation. I call it recuperation instead of healing because there's mana and endurance regen also, which are still important for sustaining yourself, right? How good they are at leveling, how good they are at bossing, and then general quality of life. We'll probably just rate these like out of 10. We'll just say out of 10. Since it's a little easier to quantify out of 10, I think, with the human brain instead of tiers. And then we'll stick them on here. Yeah? I don't think anybody's beneath C. Would you guys agree? Like, even the worst classes, I think, are still, they're fine. Nobody's that bad, right? Like, even the obvious ones, yeah. Even Beastlord is still like a C, right? It's not that bad. It gives you slow. It gives you better slow than Bard. They upgraded their pet. I don't know how good their pet is now. And they have acceptable heals. They have better than Ranger heals, right? Worse than Superior, but better than Ranger heals. Anyways, we'll talk about that when we go to each class. So we're going to start, I guess, with the order here. So we're starting with Bard. So Bard offense. They have the best haste in the game. They charm. Charm's pretty good for offense. They have the mana-free dots, which is like between 60 and 72 DPS if you have like drums and you've upgraded it a bit. Enchanter has the best. Charm? Well, yeah, I mean, they do, but Bard still can charm, right? So they do pretty good for your offense. Haste, no. Bard haste is better because it's the same percentage. It'll cap you, but it'll also give you stats. And you don't have to worry about it running out. You don't have to worry about maintaining the buff, and it gives you stats while giving you haste. It's better. For multiple reasons, right? And then the weapons it gives you is trash. Bard weapons that they give you, they're not good. There's no attack. They have the dots. They have the haste. They have pets. They don't have good skill levels. So, I don't know, maybe like a 6? What do you guys think? How do you feel about a 6 for Bard offense? Because they give you the best haste. The spells are mana free, right? It's pretty good. And then they can charm, and charm's pretty good. Ranger is low-key good. I've heard a lot of people saying that recently. Even Ranger, Wizard, Necro was amazing. Interesting. Yeah, Necro plus Wizard's actually kind of sleeper good. I saw that video of that guy life tapping with Necro Wizard to keep himself alive, and he'd like crit heal himself for 2k with Necro Wizard life taps. Their AoE is pretty solid, that's true. But that's not really offense, that's more about leveling, right? It's a bit hard to quantify classes independently since the group makeup can break her. Yeah, that's why this is just speculation. It doesn't really matter, right? Yeah, that's the nature of tier list, right, Sarah? And you pretty much nailed it. Okay, well, we'll go with 6 since nobody seems to be, like, adamantly opposed to that. All right, so defense with a Bard. They have the second worst slow, right? Their slow is only better than Rogue slow, but that's still something. And they give you the best resist in the game by, like, a country mile. And they give you plate. right? So they give you some pretty decent defense. They don't give you good skill levels on defense for like things like parry and dodge and riposte and stuff. Their skill levels are pretty poor. And they're not going to have a lot of HP and AC natively, right? But they do bring slow still, even though it's not very good. And then they give you resist. So I don't know, maybe like a 5? Maybe like a 5 for defense? What do you guys think? Between shots, wizard, nukes with a pet, and necro drains, critting for heals, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Are you doing Druid Wizard together on a 25? No, I'm gonna do Enchanter Wizard to 23, Doug. That way my wizard can Ultra Blast with like lots of mana regen. And then the second time when I level Druid, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do Monk Druid, or if I'm gonna do Enchanter Druid, or if I'm gonna do Wizard Druid. I'm undecided. I'm just gonna make the choice on the fly because I don't know. There's merit to all of those things. I've added a show hide feature for AAs you don't want to see for yourself. Ooh, that sounds good. Is it like in the list where you're selecting them? So you can just hide things that are garbage, like innate regen or things that you would never really care about. That's pretty good. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with a 5 for defense. All right, how about recuperation? Let's see. So they give you the worst endurance regen, I think, but they do give you endurance regen. There's only like 4 classes, I think, that give you endurance regen, so that's pretty good. They give you some mana regen, but it isn't very good. And they give you health regen, but it isn't very good. So they give you a tiny bit of like everything. They give you a tiny bit of everything. I think I'd give them like a 3. I think I'd give them like a 3 for this, because they give you a tiny bit of everything. They can have 1 point for each type. Working on the progression changes to make it so that the mark as owned will be left as just a personal thing. In future, the AAs persist in the plan despite you swapping classes. Okay. You want to do that? Be playing with people at first, I mean, oh. Ooh, that's gonna be rough, Ogwin. That's gonna be rough for you. Cause like, I mean, I guess as long as you don't get, as long as you're not like level 46 without ports, I guess that's kind of good enough. Although, if I don't have the shrink item early on, I'm gonna want to throw things, so I kind of need ports ASAP so I don't have to duck through doorways as a fat ogre. Alright, so leveling. Bards are really good at leveling, right? They give you AoE slow, they give you pacify, they give you dual wield, they give you the move speed. None of their buffs require you to do anything other than just put them on your bar. You don't have to rebuff their stuff. It's just always there. And their really quick, easy charm that's easy to drop and reapply is really good for leveling too. I think I might give them like an 8 for leveling. I think this is where bards really shine. What do you guys think? I think this is honestly what bards are best at, is leveling. We're not seeing any dissenting opinions, so we'll go with 8. Okay, so for bossing. So the bossing with a bard is really interesting because I think right at the beginning, when you have crappy weapons relative to what you will have, and you don't have your spells all upgraded, blah, 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 they're better at bossing at that point than they are later. Because, like, the amount of damage that their songs provide relative to what you'll have later is higher. But then once you get really good gear, I think they kind of suck at bossing because their slow's not very good. All their regens are kind of minimal. Their dot songs will start being kind of not really that important. Yeah. I don't know, maybe like a 4. Maybe like a 4 for bossing. Interrupts for bards is their negative. If you don't have the AA or if you're not playing Shaman, your songs get stopped a lot. Oh, that's true. I mean, there's also like the fact that you need a gazillion AAs for bards for them to function at a high level. Dude, maybe I should lower this to 7 because of that. I just talked myself. I'm gonna lower that to 7, just because of the fact that they require all of the AAs to even function, right? Okay, and then quality of life. I mean, Bard quality of life super high, right? Bard quality of life is like almost a 10, right? Like not quite as high as Enchanter, but because they don't have AoE Mez, a 10. I think I'm giving a 9, just because I think Enchanter's a 10. You think it's higher? You think it's better than AoE Mez and Clarity and better and like, yeah, you think so? They have AoE? No, they don't. It's not AoE Mez in this. That song, right? You're talking about the one at the beginning. Oh, the point blank. Oh, the point blank one. Oh, it's level limited. When does it stop working? I know what you're talking about. When does it stop working? Dang it, I hate that. I wish they would put these at the top. Does anybody else agree that these should be at the top instead of this crap? This is what we came here for. We don't want to see this. 30, you think? But with moats up to 40? Huh. Well, we can see it, right? We can find it. Load. You can do it. I believe in you. That's taking a long time. There's too many people here. Everybody's on this website right now, right? This one, right? Level 30. But you have to spam. How long does it last? How long does it last? You have to like spam it? Oh, it's the same duration pretty much. I guess this is pretty good. Maybe we can give them both a 10 then. I'm okay with that. We can give both of them a 10. They can both have 10 quality of life. I mean, it's arguable 9 or 10. Bards have a ton of versatility. That's true, they do. They have songs out of yin yang. Yeah, that's true. You know the one thing about Bard, I guess that's the problem with Enchanter too, of quality of life, is they eat all the spell gems, but maybe that's not really a concern for quality of life. All that stuff should be at the bottom or on a link. I agree. I agree with you, Teledum. Okay, so this is where I have Bard. So what does this put a Bard at overall? This is obviously just to give us an idea. I won't put it at S for sure, because I think it's super overrated. I'm leaning towards like somewhere in A. Oh, I was supposed to put this here. I forgot. Bard Responding has 5 tied up, and you really want that? I mean, it has 10 spell gems tied up. Teledum. If you're playing optimally with a Bard, you lose 10 spell gems just straight up. A is fair. Yeah, I don't actually think there's a lot of S tier classes. There's one that's definitely a S tier, and then some of the other ones are debatable. I think A is fine. All right. So this is our Bard. Next we have Berserker. Is that BRZ? Is that right? I think it's BRZ. We should do this so we don't have to keep deleting those numbers. That's kind of annoying. How's recuperation only 3? Because they give you a tiny bit of everything, but they have no actual heals. They don't give you that much mana compared to, say, Necro or Enchanter or Shaman. Their endurance regen is there, but it's not as much as Ranger, Beastlord, or Shaman, right? You can't really sustain yourself just on Bard sustain. It's kind of like a thing that helps you a little bit all the time. Okay, so we're on to Berserker. Offense. I mean, a Berserker's got to be at least like a 9 for offense, right? Is it a 10? Is a Berserker a 10 for offense? I feel like that's what I'm inclined to say. We're rating this. There, we'll do it the right way. Would you guys put Berserker anywhere other than 10 for offense? I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not quite a 10. Because, I mean, I don't know, like, only if defensive negative. That's fair. You know what, though? It's not pure negative defense, though, right? Because the interaction with Lay on Hands, the damage that they take from their ability is just that's nothing. It's so little. If you watch your combat log, that's nothing. That is just a non-factor. The runes that you get from critting outweighs the damage you take. Like, easily. RU 9 because it's tied to the stance. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of, Natus. Like, because when you're using it, it's insane. But you can't always use it. You can't always use it. So it, like, I guess a 10 is disingenuous, right? Damage shields are rough. I mean, with a two-hander, are they really? Do damage shields really matter that much with a two-hander? I guess if it's a really high one, like one of those 50-point damage shields, that would kill you pretty quick still. Getting the stance at all is a pro though. Okay. I'm okay with, let's go with 9. Okay, so defense. A 1? They give you Blood Rune. And their defense does scale with your weapon, which is pretty cool, right? The defense they give you, which is not very much, scales with how good you're. Maybe a 2. Maybe a 2? What do you guys think? 1 or 2? They give you block. Wait, they give you block. Block is important. So if you pair a Berserker with a Paladin, that is a very non-zero amount of damage reduction, right? So yeah, it can't be a 1. It can't be a 1 because they give you block. That's right out. You can't say 1. 2, I think 2 is fair though. Just because like the fact that they have Berserker stance kind of like negates a lot of defense they would add with block and the Blood Rune. Mage Hunter stance. Hey! Wait, maybe it's a 3. They give you Mage Hunter. Mage Hunter's good. Wait, but yeah. Does it even count though? Are you gonna play a Berserker without a Paladin or a Shadowknight? Like, realistically? A real question. Would anybody play Berserker without a Shadowknight or a Paladin? I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Maybe if you were just trying to do the white damage build of all time, so you were like Berserker Ranger Monk or something? Oh, Berserker Warrior, Berserker Monk. You think so? Okay. Okay. Well, if you're playing it with a Warrior and a Monk, you already get better block, though. Oh, Mage Hunter. Right, Mage Hunter. Okay, so maybe a 3. Maybe we give him Mage Hunter. Berserker Monk Rogue. Okay, let's give him Mage Hunter. We'll give him a 3 then. They give you block, they give you Mage Hunter, and their Blood Rune shield scales with your gear. So by the end, it actually might be kind of ridiculous. It might be kind of ridiculous. You love Ranger, Berserker, Shaman? Okay, yeah, that's a lot of white damage. I could see why you'd like that combo. Okay, well, I'll go with 3 for defense then. Warrior, Cleric, Berserker. You're going to use the slow hammer with that combo? Block, dodge, parry, and Blood Rune, yeah. It's the highest bow spec damage. Ah, I see. Right, that makes sense, because Berserker stance is way better than range stance. That makes sense. Okay, recuperation for a Berserker. This is 1, right? They don't do anything for you. They don't, I mean, no, 2. Blood Rune, right? That's it. They give you Blood Rune. They do something. They do something with Blood Rune. Berserker is good for Staff of the... Yeah, you mean Cudgel the Fool, Bronzar? Also because Shaman adds so much dex and strength. Yeah, yeah. Doesn't range stance give double triple shot? It does. It does. And it lets it so you can use it in melee. I hate range stance Twin Diesel, by the way. I have a video planned, because I played the bow stance, leveling it all the way up, and I think it sucks. I think it sucks. Because it disables... It gets disabled whenever you're doing something hard. It's so stupid. Okay, so 2 on recuperation. Leveling with a Berserker. A 9? What do you guys think? I think leveling with a Berserker is baller. You murder the crap out of everything, and like if you pair it with something like a Paladin, you just have infinite health. You just have infinite health. They're so good at leveling. I think Berserkers are so good at leveling. What do you guys think? Any thoughts on 9? Yeah. I leveled a Berserker to 46, and I just blasted. Paladin Berserker for leveling is so ridiculous. I was Paladin Berserker Enchanter. Paladin, Berserker, Enchanter. Infinite mana, infinite murder, infinite health. Anything that heals damage. Okay, so I think everybody agrees with me with leveling with 9. Okay, so bossing. Bossing's like a 3, right? Or a 4, maybe? Cause like your berserk, maybe it's bad, right? Like they're not that good at bossing. They like the berserker stance. Like unless you have Giga Gear, you're not going to be able to use berserker stance, which is their main asset most of the time on anything that's worth a damn, right? Best case with excellent gear, it's a 5 with berserker stance. In the right combo, they'd be fine. Yeah, like if you're doing berserker shaman something, it needs to have a shaman or an enchanter in the combo to have a chance at using berserker stance realistically, right? It needs the big slow because you need to not be getting blasted. Berserker is higher and you have more chance for crit, which Berserker gives you good crit AAs. That's true. They do give you 6% extra melee crit as a Berserker. They always give you that. Nothing Berserker is really for bossing, but it adds triple attack and flurry. They give you triple attack, flurry, 6% melee crit, and then blood shield, which will, once again, on bosses, it will be significant when you have crazy gear. It will be. Berserker crit is why you want to stack it with Warrior. Yeah, Warrior plus Berserker, you probably crit a lot, Kyle. Alright. I think I'm okay with 3 for bossing. Like, it has something. Quality of life. Is this literally a 1? I think it's a 1, right? It doesn't have any quality of life. At all. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you... It literally does nothing. Can anybody think of anything it does? A 0? Yeah. I mean, a 1's a 0. Because it literally does nothing. It literally does nothing. Unless it's with Paladin. That's true. That's true. Okay. Okay, it's minimum. Alright, so overall, where does this leave us with Berserker? I think it's a little worse than Bard. I'm leaning between high B or low A for Berserker. Because it is way less... It's like... It's so much more restrictive than Bard, right? It blasts for leveling, and it can do crazy damage, but it has so many restrictions. I think we just put it in B, because it's got so much more restrictions, right? Basically beer until ultra late. Yeah, that's true, Kyle. I feel like they're going to be S when you have ultra gear, maybe, right? It depends on what it pairs with, yeah. But a Bard is definitely the versatile guy, right? If you're only talking about soloing, then yes, but in a group. I am kind of looking at this from a solo standpoint. I probably should have said that at the beginning. I'm assuming you're soloing with this, because if you start being in a group, Berserker is Omega S tier, like right out the gate, right? If you don't have to tank, Berserkers are crazy. Okay, we'll do the next class. So what is this, Beastlord? We're on Beastlord. I don't think this one's going to get very positive reviews. That is my guess. My guess is this is not going to be very popular. So offense. Has anybody tried the attack speed AA? Anybody? Frenzied Spirit? Has anybody tried it? I just want to know. I hope somebody's tried it. Because it's like the only thing that I want to try Beastlord for. Getting another 100% increase attack speed for 48 seconds every 12 minutes sounds so much fun. But other than that, their offense is like a 2. Because they have a pet that isn't really that good. Beastlord equals the new ranger, yeah. Like, can it be above a 2? I don't think it's that good. It just, like, its dots are terrible. It's got, like, those fast nukes, but I don't think they're as efficient as the ranger dot line. No, it doesn't double attack Bronson. It only dual wields. It dual wields. That's something. It does give you dual wield and has a pet, so maybe 3. It still hits haste cap, so mostly an attack buff. And you get Paragon, but that's not really an offensive thing, right? You get Paragon, but that's more of a recuperation thing, right? So you get dual wield, and you get a pet. I think that's worth a 3. When does EQL launch? On the 28th, Gilchrist. On the 28th. I think they have to add more class A's. You don't think the pet getting extra flurry chances is enough? Yeah, I don't really know. I haven't tried it since they buffed it, Kyle. I haven't tried it since they buffed it. All right, I'm cool with 3 with that. So defense, they get a slow that's better than a bard by a little bit. The 12 is still sort of speculated. It's an assumed time. It's not formally announced as noon, as I understand it. Right? It's just kind of like that's when, or was it formally? Do they give block? Oh, they do. They give block. Good call, Dastion. They do give block. Let me make sure. Oh no, this thing was not accurate last time I looked. Do you think they fixed this? Did they fix the skills on here? I hope they did. I hope they fixed block, because before it was totally wrong. It was super wrong. Okay, yeah, so Beastlord gets it. This doesn't have a ranger, so it is still wrong. Ranger has block too, but, you know, whatever. They get feign death, sort of, right? It's like a wacky feign death. That's more of quality of life than defense, though. I think I'd put feign death under quality of life, not defense. So they get block and they get slow. Maybe like a 4. Because they get slow. They have to be better defense than Berserker, right? They have to be. Because you get block and slow instead of just block. Isn't it called playing? Yeah, playing possum. Yeah. They upgraded the beast slow to be 40. Yeah, their slow is slightly better than Bard slow. By just a little bit. Honestly, I'm going to give them a 5. Slow's too good. Right? Slow is so good. And like, it can enable your comp having slow, even a 40% slow. I think I'm okay with 5. If there's any more arguments, you go ahead and put it in chat, but I think I'm good with 5. All right, so recuperation. They do have endurance regen, right? It's worse than the Shaman one, but I think it's the second best? Question mark? They have mana regen in the form of Paragon. They have the best pet heal, and they have a pretty decent self heal, right? It's better than like Ranger heal, but it's worse than Superior heal. It's like in between them. Honestly, their recuperation is pretty okay. They give you endurance regen, they give you mana regen once you have the AA, and they give you decent heals. Like, so Bard they're way better than a Bard. Like maybe like a 5 or a 6. Maybe a 6 because of the pet heal. Feign Death is a whole build in this game. Feign off aggro every time you cast a new pet and let the pet tank till it dies. Wouldn't the bosses reset sometimes though? They just use as extra health bars when you feign off aggro. Yeah, I mean at leveling I agree with you, but for bossing I don't think that would work. I don't think what you're saying it would work. I think what you would do for a boss is you would pre-cast the pet and click leave on the pet and then feign. I guess you could still, yeah, I guess it's what you said. You just have to do it in a really weird way. 10 p.m. for Abnatus. Oof. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with 6. They get functional heals, endurance regen, and Paragon. What do I think of Beastlord, Druid, Shaman? That sounds like there's a lot of overlap. That does not sound like a good combo to me, Yoro. Why do you want that combo? Can you explain it to me? It would work if the pet didn't die at all when you're AFD'd. Yeah, that's true. That's true, it would. Yeah, I don't... You want to be a nature man? Okay, so if you want to be a nature man, throw a ranger in there. That'll help. Throw a ranger in there somewhere and that'll help, and you're still a nature man. Go with like ranger, shaman, something. And then you'll be Ranger, Beastlord, Shaman would be okay. I mean, if you want to create a hunter, it has to be a ranger, right? Yeah, Ranger, Beast, Druid. Ranger, Beast, Druid, that would be okay. Ranger, Beast, Druid would be okay. I mean, Ranger, Shaman, Enchanter would definitely be a good combo. Ranger, Shaman, Enchanter would definitely be successful. Beastlord seems to pal well with Knight. It does. It does, because it gives you block and dual wield. I agree with you, Dastion. Anything that gives you both block and dual wield is a good combo with a Knight. So long as the caster isn't Shaman, yeah. It doesn't reset aggro if you're standing during a boss and inversion cast it? Oh, okay. I get what you're saying, Agwin. I have little game knowledge and was worried about overlap. Yeah. I don't think you'll have much success with Beastlord Druid Shaman, but if you did make it Beastlord Ranger Shaman, I think you'd be quite successful. Major Deity, thanks for the follow. Alright, so leveling with a Beastlord. Has anybody leveled with a Beastlord? It seems like they wouldn't really be all that good for leveling. Like, you get the pet, which is convenient for leveling, so like maybe like a 3. You don't hate yourself that much. You get the pet for leveling and you get heal spells. Okay, so maybe a 4. They give you heals that are passable and they give you a pet. Thoughts of Warrior, Cleric, Berserker. So Warrior, Cleric, Berserker could be good if you're willing to give a lot of rubies to the troll in Inithul, because you don't have a slow, but you do have the best defense and healing in the game. I think if you're willing to use the slow hammer clicky a lot, that's an okay combo. If you're not going to want to do that, it's probably going to struggle on harder content. That's what I think about that combo. Beast Wizard with strong 1 to 10 rushing. That's what I'm going to do, Riley. Well, I'm going to do Beast Mage. Because Mage is just better than Wizard 1 to 10. Like, it's just better. There's no argument. It's way better. Is their pet the best one after the buffs? I'm pretty sure Mage still has the best pet. Like, the Earth pet, when I was testing it, I had like a +4 of the Earth pet, and he was beefy. His threat was sus, but I think that's a pet problem. But he was really tanky. And that was only level 43. You can get him to level 49. I think if you had a level 49 pet with Giga Gear on it, I was on Mage, I think they'd be insanely tanky. It had like 7,400 hit points, guys. The Earth pet at level 43. Water pet goes hard with backstab. It's true. It does. That's how I leveled most of the time, Dastion. I used the water pet till level 45 or 46, and then I switched to Earth pet on that character. It has the best pet heal and pet buffs that you can get only from Beastlord if you're doing a pet build, and it has the most pet armor slots to add. No, mages give you the same, but yeah, it has this. It's tied with mage, yeah. The Enchanter pet was pretty great. Healed one. Yeah, the Enchanter pet is kind of amazing. Can you moat the epic? I think we should make the assumption you can, Apocal. I think I'm going to assume you can. All right, leveling. I'm going to go with 4 for leveling. It's got passable heals and a pet. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, bossing. I mean, I think it gives you. My instinct is to say 5 for the same reason of the defense. It gives you a decent slow. It gives you a decent slow. Maybe it's not, because that's all that matters, right? It gives you block. It gives you block and decent slow. That's about it, right? It gives you good dodge cap too. Yeah, okay. So dodge, I mean, that kind of all factors into its defense, right? Block, slow, heals. Yeah. Same as Monk. No, it's worse. Monk gets the highest cap of block and dodge and the 3 weapon skills that it uses. Like, by significant margins, because I looked at that earlier, Kyle, because I was wondering the same thing, but it gives you the highest block, dodge, and the weapon things by a significant margin. I think I'm okay with a 5. Is anybody opposed with a 5? I think that's about right. It's just kind of middle of the road. It brings stuff that's good, but it's not the best. Quality of life. So like maybe like a 3. It gives you Spirit of Wolf, right? Eventually. It has like a Ghetto Feign Death. Is that it? Does it give you Invis or anything? Does it give you like Invis or something like that? Because Invis is pretty convenient. I don't know if they give you Invis or not. Invis, does it? See Invis. Invis at 43. I don't know if we can count that. Oh, does it give you haste? When does it give you haste? I mean, haste is more leveling. Early haste is more leveling than quality of life. Pet haste. No, it's just pet haste. They don't give you haste. And run speed. Spirit of Wolf, right. That's what, that was the main thing. Spirit of Wolf. Spirit of Wolf plus Invis. Late Invis. So 3 sounds about right. You just leveled with a beast. Even with the pet, the monk is so far ahead with melee offense and defense and swapping out. Yeah, Haste is 52. Okay, so you don't get it yet. Okay. They get a mini HP, endurance, and mana regen buff too. Yes, they do. But that's not quality of life. That's recuperation. Right? Quality of life is invis, feign death, mez, things that are just convenient rather than power. Convenient rather than power, or time saving rather, right? I'll give him a 3. Spirit of Wolf's good, right? Spirit of Wolf and Invis is good. Think they're a D? I don't think anybody's actually a D. I think we're all sold on it's a C though, right? It's the lowest tier. It's not very good. It's not very good. It's a C, yeah. I don't think anything's below a C, personally. I think everything is passable enough to, like, not say it's, like, in... It doesn't need Jesus. It's just not very good. Alright, next class. What are we on now? Is this Cleric? That looks like Cleric. See your bind point. Okay. So we're on to Cleric. What does Cleric do for offense, boys? Wait, let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna know this. They muck with defenses on the server, so avoidance is a lot different. Effective avoidance. Warrior, Ranger, Berserker, Monk. Wait, how is Monk lower than Ranger for effective avoidance? I don't know if I buy that. Where'd you get those numbers from, Dr. Pro? Highest Yelp? Oh, that's true. It gives you Yelp and the repost aura thing, right? All classes are considered solo. Yeah, we're gonna consider them alone. That avoid for Rangers is super high. Is it really? It seems wrong. Yeah, but block of a monk is way higher than Ranger. The stat cap is not close. Same with dodge. That looks sus to me, Dr. Pro. I would need to see a really legit looking source to agree with that list you just posted. The warrior one looks legit. I agree with the warrior one. But monk should be number 2 for avoidance. If solo... Okay, so offense for Cleric. They pretty much just give you that proc and Yelp, right? So maybe like a 4. The proc and Yelp is pretty... Well, the proc's pretty good, right? The proc is like a substantial amount of, like, damage. And undead. Oh, that's true. Hey, Keen, thanks for the sub, man. Beast needs a high damage ability where you and the pet hits at the same time. That's what I said, Ahog. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. I totally agree with you. That would be such good flavor and make them less crappy. Undead, where the most people are leveling, is impactful. They get nice... Okay, so we can give them... I mean, is a 4 still not good? Do you think it should be higher? Hey, Severard, thanks for the sub, man. Thank you, everybody, for the support. It means a lot. I think they're at least a 5. You really think... Do you think that Aura plus Undead Nuke is really that impactful? I mean, I'll agree. The proc repost whatever thing is very good. It's very good. It's surprisingly good. And then Undead Nukes are quite good. It's a tough call. Either high 4 or low 5. Yeah, let's go with 5 then. Because everybody knows Cleric's OP, right? So let's just let them... Click EPR. That's not offense, though. We're talking about offense right now. Undead Nuke spam all day in low growth. Yeah, but that's like leveling, right? That's leveling, not offense. I guess it's both. I don't know. 4 seems reasonable, even then it's literally the only thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go. You convinced me, Kyle. I think 4. 5's done 2 and everything else, so we'll say 4. Yeah, we'll say 4. Alright, defense. 8? 9? Not 8. That's too high. That doesn't count slow. Does it? No, it does. 9. HP, AC buffs? No, they don't have parry and stuff. They don't have parry and stuff. It can't be that high. They don't have slow. They kind of have slow. They have ghetto slow if you're a tryhard. Because they're the only person other than Shaman, I'm pretty sure, that can click the slow hammer. So they technically have a slightly worse than Bard slow available to them. Right? And you will use it. You will use it if you're a Cleric combo without a slow, right? You'll use it for hard bosses, for sure. They have plate and best AC buff and HP buff, yep. And they have a slow You put the skill table in my Discord? Alright, let's look at that. Hang on, let's look. I'm curious. We can probably give Dr. Pro a, we can give some roles out here so you can see stuff. Where'd you put it? Oh, EQLegends. Defense table. Okay, let's look at this. Are you guys ready? This is the defense table that he just linked us. So Monk, obviously, for these is way higher. Here's block, right? See, look. Monk block is crazy. That's what I was saying. See, it's like way above everybody else. And then dodge is the same way. See, it's like way above. That's why I was saying there's no way a ranger is higher. No way. They get a reverse healing damage shield. Yeah, they do. They do. So this is cool. If you guys want to take a screenshot of that or whatever. I'm sure it's in the EQLegends wiki somewhere, right? I'm sure it's in the wiki somewhere. 7 or 8 would be appropriate to factor in the slow hammer. Yeah, I'm factoring in the slow hammer. Because if you're doing something hard, you're going to use it if you need it, right? Parry repost was cut. Oh, yeah, that's true. It was cut off. Parry repost. I would think parry and repost for... Actually, for a ranger, parry and repost might be kind of high. Interrupt Cleric gets a clicky snare. Snare is nothing. Snare is not a thing that matters on this server, unfortunately. Monk doesn't have parry. Oh, I see what you mean. Monk doesn't have parry. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so maybe that's why Ranger's higher, Dr. Pro. You've convinced me. I guess every time I played Monk, my brain automatically pairs it with something that would have parry. So I see people talking about fear kiting and stuff, and I'm like, damn, you didn't play D4 at all. I mean, you didn't play. People that are talking about quad kiting and fearing and stuff didn't play yet, I think. I think those people didn't play the beta. Out of curiosity, what's makes mixed bed better? Because you get a pet. Wizard nukes and mage pets, or wizard and mage nukes at that level are basically identical. And then you have a pet. And the mage pet at level 2 is level 5. And then like the level 5 or 6 pet is like level 9. And then the level 10 pet is level 12. So mage is just better at the beginning. Yeah, it's just better. Definitely seems like they're bringing P99 ideals to try and make them work. Yeah, I mean that's the nostalgia, right? If they don't know, they're like, dude, I'm gonna be the quad kite master with wizard, druid, necro, right? But we know that's not a thing. That's not gonna be a thing. A pet with the highest pet gear, yeah. I mean, the pet gear doesn't matter at the beginning, though. Not really, anyways. All right, recuperation for a cleric. So they obviously have the best heals. We all know that. They have the best heals. They give you the hitting things. I'm going to give them a 9. And they're not a 10 because they don't give you mana regen, right? We'll just give them a 9. They can't be a 10. They can't be a 10. I don't think anybody's a 10 for recuperation, honestly, because you would have to have all 3 of these things as like super high levels, and nobody has all 3 at a super high level, right? Cleric is probably like the highest on recuperation just because PR, once you upgrade it a little bit, is still kind of disgusting for healing. Warder is better, barely better than the SK pet? Oh god. Broken Stoic has tested the pets, guys. He knows. He knows what's up, man. Mage summon items leveled up. Yeah, dude, I used the mage summon items on that character with the archery thing, and they're sneaky powerful. Alright, so leveling with a cleric. Clerics are great for leveling, right? You get the super good heals super early, so it like minimizes downtime and minimizes risk. You get Pacify really early. You get the AC HP buffs. You get the healing hit thingy. You almost did this today, Broken? Oh, I'm sorry I stole your idea. I didn't want to stream Grim Dawn again today, and I just thought this would be fun. You're unkillable unless you get permastun? Yeah. Leveling is probably like... But they don't bring a lot of leveling offense, right? So I'll give them like an 8 for leveling. They give you a little bit of undead nukes, but it's not like a Berserker, right? They're not going to be like a Berserker where you're going to absolutely smash through everything when you have a Plane of Sky two-hander, right? It's going to be... They level pretty fast, yeah. So I'll give them an 8 for leveling. I think that's pretty fair. Bossing. Um, like a 9. I think a shaman's still better at bossing than a cleric, personally. What do you guys think? I think 9. I don't think they're a 10. I think only a shaman is 10 for bossing. They give you good offense. They give you the best heals. They give you lots of armor. They give you a slow if you're a tryhard and you don't have a better slow elsewhere. No mana stone. Bronson wants his mana stone, man. Feels bad. Anybody? So I don't know if anybody has any. People will probably agree with 9 for bossing for cleric. I'm guessing. Quality of life. They do give you. They give you both invises, don't they? Does cleric gives you normal invis too, right? Most of their point is bossing. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do they give you both? I know they give you IVU. No normal invis, just IVU, which is pretty good in this. Like lower Gook, IVU is like the thing that matters, right? So it's almost as good as normal invis. Oh, it's invis verse. Invisibility. Wait, 43. Is that Beastlord? That must be the Beastlord thing, right? Yeah, that's the Beastlord thing. Why did it reopen? IVU at 11. Invulnerability. Not sure if it's quality of life. It's kind of both. Shaman with alchemy. You know, everybody can use alchemy in this game, Bronson. Alchemy is not a shaman only thing. So they don't really have that much quality of life, right? It's just IVU. That's pretty much it. So it's like a 2. Do they have anything else? They don't get anything else, right? They get pacify. Okay, they get pacify. I can throw that in there. That's part of leveling, but it's also part of quality of life. Res? No, res is not a thing. This is single. This is single. We're looking at this as single player. Summon burnt bread. Wait, they do summon food, don't they? They summon food and water. Okay, 3's fine. So where do we put the cleric? It's got to be an A, right? It's got to be top A. S? Low S? Low S, right? I think low S. What do you guys think? It's a toss-up. High A, low S. I mean, we knew it was coming, right? It's better than Bard. That's true. It is better than Bard by far. I agree. So we'll go with S then. You convinced me, Apocal. Cleric's high B, low A. But Kisva, you should defend your point. I don't think I can agree with that, but I'm sure you have a reason for feeling that way. All right, we're gonna go with S with Cleric. All right, Druid. It's time for the bashing to begin. Are you guys ready for the other inevitable C tier class? The low C tier class. All right, so we're on Druid now. Outside of Promise Renewal, Cleric is trash. I don't agree with that. We just went through everything because I don't agree with that statement. S plus 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 plus. Only because there's no D. PR sucks a lot more outside of the spell upgrade system. That's true, but we have the spell upgrade system. Hot take, Druid is really strong. Defend your point, Broken. I'm listening. I mean, you can make points when we're going through these things too, right? So offense. Druid offense is kind of okay. But are you really going to use their offense other than AoE spells? Probably not. I think I'd give them like a 3 for offense, personally. Because they do have dots, they do have nukes, they do have AoE, but I feel like you're really only going to use the AoE, realistically. Unbound AA boost heals, damage, dots, nuke. Okay, that's fair. They do get the crit thing. They get the crit spell thing, right? Damage shields. Okay, you've convinced me at least a 4. The damage shields while leveling the first time are quite good. The damage shields are quite good. Easy S tier. Well, at least you know your priorities, Yomerger. At least you know your priorities. Druids get all the hippie chicks. They also get Earthquake proc and Earthquake cast. Yeah, they get Earthquake cast. That's what I'm saying. The AoE is like most of why I have it a 4 even. But when you're doing like a boss or something, or you're killing just one mob at a time, you're not going to really do anything other than damage shield from Druid, right? Probably. Awesome pet haste? Okay. They get an awesome pet haste. That's an interesting point. I had heard that the pet haste from Druid stacks with the mage one. Can you confirm that, Broken Stoic? Does the Druid haste for pets in fact stack with burnout? Dismiss summon isn't bad for Najina? Oh, interesting. It's more efficient than hard hitting. Okay. You're planning on Ogre, Mage, Shaman, Druid. Mage, Shaman, Druid. Okay, so you're doing legit pet plus dots thing. I think the AoE and dots plus some additional buffs for my pet will make it for my portal slot than wizard. I mean, that you could make it work. Mage, Shaman will work. It'll be annoying because you'll be tanking from what I've seen, unless you have some magical way to make mage pets hold threat better. But AC debuff for Druid for boss fights. I mean, that's not really. I mean, I guess that is part of offense a little bit. How much AC does it debuff? Is it like significant, Rokev? The buff stack, the haste portions don't. Oh, okay, I see. Should we give them a 5 then? Because they have lots of sneaky. They have lots of sneaky offense stuff. Let's do it. We'll give them a 5 for offense. Druid self DS is the highest. Yeah, it is. Druid DS is the highest, but it doesn't stack with mage ones, as I understand it. At least they didn't stack. They didn't seem to stack for me when I tried it with the ranger version, right? Plus their shielding spell. But in pop rating, our guild always wanted a druid for the debuffs. Yeah, it makes sense. But this is from a solo standpoint, right? Thanks for the follow, guys. Thanks for the follows. Mage Prime solo. Okay, so let's go on to defense now. So their buffs for defense are not very good. What do you think? A 3? They give you some HP AC buff, but it's not as good as the Cleric one. They don't have Pot G yet, which is their main defensive buff that kicks ass. They don't have Slow. Do they have an attack debuff or anything? Attack buff in wolf form? Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I think I'm still okay with 5. Does anybody think it should go higher than 5? Fire Fist, permanent attack, and wolf, double permanent attack. Are you saying it should be 6, Broken? Do you think their offense should be 6? Their HP AC stacks with AC, not Shaman though. Yeah, 5. Okay. I think a 3 defense. I would be surprised if you can convince me they're better than a 3 at defense. I think they suck pretty bad at defense. I think Berserker might be the only person worse at defense. And even then, maybe it's... Okay, wait, hang on, Broken. Hear me out with the Berserker. They give you block. They probably give you parry. They give you a blood shield that will scale with your weapon. So that's why Zerker's at 3. What does Druid do other than the 1 buff line? What do they do for defense? Yeah. But dude, everybody talks about the hurting themselves. Have you parsed how much it hurts you? Have you watched the combat log? It does almost nothing. Unless I'm losing my mind, it does almost nothing. Mage Hunter is, yeah, that's Berserker. Oh yeah, Berserker gives you Mage Hunter too. That's right, Broken. That somebody said that at the last minute for Berserker, and we're like, oh, they give you Mage Hunter. Mage Hunter's quite good for like, what, the start of Inaruk and Yale and, you know, probably something else I'm not thinking about. All right, I think I'm okay with 3 defense on Druid. Recuperation. They give you the best endurance regen. They give you the best endurance regen with a Shaman, right? Chloro is the best. And they give you approximately the same heals as a Shaman. Give or take, right? It's about the same. Druids have the best resist buffs. No, I'm pretty sure Bard have the best resist buffs. So we'll give them second best, maybe? Okay. Okay, we can go for resist buffs. That's fair. That's fair. It's not as good as Bard, right? I don't think. Healing Waters is pretty great. Okay. Frenzy use skill faster. Combine with like crazy. Yeah. Okay, so you've convinced me. A 4 defense because of the resisting. So recuperation, you get the endurance, you get decent heals. Maybe like a 5. Maybe like a 5. Maybe it's a 6. Endurance regen is pretty good. I don't know, endurance regen is really good. Because endurance is generally more of a problem than mana, right? I feel like it's more of a problem than mana once you have like a solid build with a lot of gear. Harmony is dope. Yeah, Harmony is kind of amazing. Probably 6 just because the Hots can carry if you have a tank. Okay. Chloro. Yeah, Hot. Okay, so we'll go with 6. They have good heals, and they have the best endurance regen. Okay, let's go on to leveling. Leveling with a Druid. They give you Chloro, and they give you a DS. They give you a DS, which is pretty good for the first leveling. Subsequent leveling, it will be kind of not a thing. I mean, you'll use it, but it won't be that important. Like maybe a 4? They give you heals. Just providing heals is so good for leveling, right? We thinking early on, I don't know. I don't know, Broken. We're kind of winging it. We're kind of winging it. In what universe can a cleric kill faster than a druid? What do you mean? It's not. What do you mean? The druid hot is the second best HPM heal? Okay. Okay. Strongish dots for leveling? Are you really gonna dot with a level? Has anybody played a build where they actually dotted literally every mob and it ticked more than twice? Be honest. Because I was leveling with the Shaman on the Ranger Mage thing, and I would put... No, dots are insane on big targets. Dots are insane on big targets. Like, if there's a name that has a crap ton of HP, or you're on a boss, like a raid boss, they're not insane on little trash mobs. They're just not. You can't convince me, I don't think. Because, like, I would use Venom of the Snake or something, and then I would nuke twice with a mage and it would be dead, and it has ticked once or twice. It's like inversion with poison dot every mod. So you're assuming you're doing lots of mobs at once. You're assuming you're pulling a bunch of stuff, nuking. Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Druid is crazy fast leveling if you have the staff plus spam AoEs. I mean, their AoE is quite good. Okay, maybe they are a 6 for leveling. You're right. Their AoE spells are actually some of the best. At certain points, they have the best AoE, right? Depending on where you are. Dots are largely worthless. They become mana inefficient when they don't get their full duration. That is a fair point, Steve. That is a fair point. But I'm going to give them a 6. Because the AoE is pretty crazy. Do they get a Spellblade AoE? Spellblade, they do. They do, but I think Spellblade is, like, not on my radar. I don't think Spellblade is good. I think it's fun. But, like, if you're trying to, like, get performance or level fast, I don't think it's a good thing to use. Alright, how about bossing for a druid? How about bossing? I mean, this is kind of the same as recuperation, right? But they don't have a slow, which feels so bad. Even a cleric technically has a slow, and druid just doesn't. Which is brutal. Their DS is pretty good for long boss fights, though. Anyone play a DS build with druid? So you need druid. Druid Wizard Bard is like the DS AoE build, right? Druid doesn't bring as much as any other bossing. Yeah, like maybe a 5. Because they do still have good heals. And their DS is probably a lot of damage. If you support yourself with something that has a slow, they feel a lot better. And with their lack of defense, they take too much damage. Their nukes dots are all fire magic based, meaning they won't land on a lot of targets. Okay. Why would you slow if you're using DS to kill? Well, because, I mean, you use the DS for free damage, but you're slowing a boss. Why would you not slow a D4 raid target? Oh, you're talking to... Oh, what did he say? Oh, I see what you're saying. For AoEing. Forget I said anything. Do druids get that huge DS plus regen A on this server? I don't think so, Rokeb. Because I don't know what you're talking about, so I don't think so. They can solo Sky with Animal Charm? Oh, can you charm the bees? That's crazy if you can charm the bees in Plane of Sky with the Druid. Can you charm like the horses? Does that work? Are those animals? Probably. Cleric was a 9. No way is Druid close to that, yeah. I think a 5 for bossing is fair. Spirit of Wood, okay. Reptile, and that's not for a long time. Okay. So how about quality of life? They get Spirit of Wolf. They get Invis. They get Enduring Breath. They get Harmony. They're pretty high on quality of life, right? Like maybe like a 6. They get ports, so you don't have to ritual it. Maybe a 6 for quality of life for Druid. They're pretty good, right? That's kind of why they were even decent normally, right? I saw the bees being charmable as an addressed issue the day before the server went down. I think they nuked the bees doing like a gazillion damage. Because somebody had a parse of the bees doing literally like 1,000 DPS or something. Which is obviously just a bug, right? Harmony is pretty late though, but still usable for raids. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Ranger Harmony was 39. That was pretty painful, right? When I was doing that Ranger. Best power leveling class? I don't think that's going to be a thing here. I think people are going to power level themselves with Plane of Sky weapons. That's what I think. You get Port, Spirit of Wolf, and Invis. Yeah, and Harmony. It's like mid-30s. Ranger Indoor is 39. Yeah, Outdoor is only like 9, I think. You were thinking Ranger, Wizard, Enchanter. Boy, you don't have a lot of healing there. I wouldn't recommend that comp if you want to solo things, John. For leveling, it'd be fine, but once you got to raid targets, Ranger, Wizard, Enchanter you'd probably be hard up to stay alive on hard bosses. Track. Oh, track. Oh, you're right. Track. Whoa, let's go to 7. Track is nice. I'm with you on track. I agree. I used the Druid track bubble for turning in those rubies in Inithul Swamp for Evanders. It's quite good. Forage, I mean, Forage instant 10. I don't think Forage moves my opinion. Like, what do you want for like? Because the ogre, we don't need to do that ogre forage anymore. Check the EQLegends channel. Okay, let me look. What are we looking at? Oh, we got a picture. We got a formal picture. Launch, Karen. That is spelled wrong. That's amazing. Maps. Okay. There's a cat. Who's gonna play a cat? Not me, but who wants to play a cat? Are you excited about it? Summer 4K scaling. Okay, I don't really care about that because you can't see stuff already in 1440 on this UI. I'm not going to 4K. Deity achievements, that's important. Continued dungeon revamps. We're really excited about dungeon revamps, right? Open world tuning. Rejerkian, isn't that where the Karens start? Ixar Master Race. To a person who only did P9 in red blue, is this triple class an easy transition over? It's so much easier to play than P99 close. It will be very easy. You know what I think about cat girls? I've tried to come up with a good Ranger bow build. SK Ranger Shaman. Okay, so Steve, I was playing Ranger Mage Shaman, and I think it's pretty good. But I do think that range stance sucks. If range stance didn't like stop working when you needed to go into defensive or something and you could still shoot your bow, I think the Ranger Mage Shaman I played is pretty good. But Ranger SK Shaman sounds good too. It sounds good. You get plate from the SK, which is nice, right? Ranger Rogue Shaman. Okay. Range stance is the big issue. I agree with you, Amnatus. I think range stance sucks. Nectropus Castle. That's a long ways away, huh? Winter. Reincarnation. Oh, so this is going to be a prestige system, right? That's pretty cool. Thanks for linking that. Range stance is the worst. It really is. Somebody had said in a stream before Broken when I was playing my Ranger, they were like, just delete range stance. And then just make it so bows always double, triple, and work at any range. And the problem's solved. Just delete it. Just delete range stance. It doesn't serve any purpose other than troll people. All right. So where's Druid, guys? It's definitely better than Beastlord, right? It's definitely better than Beastlord. But is it B? Is it B? What do you guys think? Where do we put it? I think Berserker's better than Druid. It's definitely better than B. Maybe a low B. Because it's not that bad. We made a lot of good points, right? It's got a lot of sneaky good things. Not as good as Zerk. B. Low, so we low B. It's A, but really S+++. This is the bias talking, Rokeb. The deity and race unlock should be part of 1.0, but I just want to play. Yeah, I'm with you, Paladin. B. All right, we're going to go with B. All right, we're moving on. That's it. That's where Druid is for a totally arbitrary tier list that doesn't really matter. All right, Enchanter. Can we just put this in S tier? Can we just put Enchanter directly to S tier? I think we can, right? Like, I don't know. Okay, offense for Enchanter. I'm going to say a 9. I'm going to say a 9. Charms are retarded. Charms are dumb, man. They're so strong. They're so strong. They're so strong. And then, even if you don't use a charm, your normal pet is pretty okay. Totally a C tier. It's just flavor of the month. Enchanter and Shaman directly to S. Do not pass go. I agree with you, Steve. I agree with you. We're going to talk about it, though. Okay, so we're okay with 9 offense. They're not a 10 offense, because they don't give you, like, weapon stuff, right? It's just that their charm does so much damage. Nothing can beat a charm pet buffed up. You might be right. But they don't do Bard can also charm and gives you more melee with free dots. So arguably that's like better in a vacuum, right? I don't know how reasonable it is for a bard to keep those crazy mobs charmed, though. Maybe not. They literally have nothing better offensively except a large charm CC, yeah. Charm uses up their melody, though. I mean, no. You just put it on them. You just put it on them and they're charmed. You don't have to sit there and channel a charm. Yeah, okay, so defense. They got slow, so they have the second best slow. They have a triple cripple combo. Now, I say this a lot. You do the triple cripple plus the slow, and the bosses hit for peanuts. And for those that don't know, the triple cripple is incapacitate, weakness, and then their dot line. And they all stack. And if you have that with slow, you take like no damage. I don't know. Do they have a 9 for defense too? Like, is it? And they have AoE Mez. Yeah, they have AoE Mez. Is it a 10? No, it's not a 10. They don't give you like parry and stuff. It can't be a 10. We'll give them a 9 for defense. The Shadow Clone sounds kind of insane. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, FT Grand, about the Shadow Clone. There's a lot of questions, right? Like, when you get the clone, is it an exact clone of you with your buffs? Is it going to start punching the boss for 300 damage with your Aldrins? How long does it last? Can it tank? We don't really know. 10 for defense. Pet heals and AoE Mez are too good. Oh, that's true. You get pet heals? Okay, maybe they are 10. They don't give you everything, because obviously they're not a melee, but maybe they are just a 10 at defense. They're crazy, man. They're so crazy. It's a 10. World 2. Yeah, you're right. You guys have convinced me. They're a 10 for defense. We'll just say at 10. It's staying there. All right, recuperation. They have no heals. No, they do. They have a pet heal. They have a pet heal. They have a really good pet heal if you happen to be fighting Lady Vox. They have insane mana regen. They do not have endurance regen, which is probably good they don't. It's probably good they don't. So like a 7 or an 8? Maybe an 8 for recuperation? What do you think? Maybe only a 7? Because they don't have really good heals. Maybe a 7. What do you guys think? The mana regen is just, it tips them over, right? The mana regen they provide is absolutely insane. An 11. It's an augmentation, but like, I was told that didn't work. Does anybody know? It's not heals you can control, right? You can't control it. You can predict it, though, Crusade. You can predict it. Because when you go below 50% health, the pet will start healing you. And if it heals you above 50%, it will stop healing you. And then obviously if it it'll stop healing you. So it's predictable, but it's not controllable. You can control the clicking on Epic from inventory? Well, we don't really know. Probably. Oh, you mean the Soulfire click? The heal? It's a 6 for you? The mana regen is strong, but only recruit thing they bring. That's fair. That's a fair argument, Kyle. Do we just put him at 6 for recoup? Because like a Necro would be higher, right? Than Enchanter? Because they do both of these things. I think a 6 I'm okay with. It is pretty much just a lot of mana regen. Alright. Leveling. 10. Any arguments with 10 on leveling for Enchanter? I'd love to hear what your argument is against 10, unless the argument is 11. Yeah, 100. 100 for leveling. Necro has to be S tier. I think it's a little debatable with Necro, but it's definitely at least A. Bangs Gavel. 10 it is for leveling. Alright, we're gonna skip we know, leveling. They have Harmony or Pacify that you don't even need to use because you just run in and AoE mez everything and you don't even care. You get super good haste, super fast. You get super mana regen, which means you have no downtime. You get the charm if you want to. If you're too lazy to charm, your pet's cracked. They're crazy. They're crazy for leveling. Bossing. What do you... An 8 or a 9? 9? 10? Are they 10 for bossing? No, I mean, Shaman's a 10. Are they better? Maybe they're better. Are they a 10? What do you guys think? 9 or 8, 9, 10 for bossing? Mem wipe, add, and decrease aggro. Yeah, they're not a 10. No pet, no good. But what are you doing where you don't have a pet, Broken? What are you doing where you don't have a pet? We can say 9. Because you do have to charm to be a 10. You have to charm to be a 10, and people might not like charming, right? That's fair. I'll go with 9 for just that reason. I think it's... Get better mana regen than Necro if we count the mana drains. That's true, Tombsand. Yeah, Enchanter has the best mana regen in the game if you do everything. If you're tryharding. They are the highest mana regen. 8 for boss. Low damage and less charm. Okay. Okay, that's fair. Pet dies from cleaves and random AoEs. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Okay, maybe 8. Maybe 8 would be okay. Mage, Ranger, Enchanter do everything on D4. Really? Only thing the Ranger Mage did was provide healing. Enchanter easy 10. Oh yeah, because the Enchanter was charming that that Dark Elf guy in Hate, right? That's what you're talking about? Oh, was that Knight? Oh, okay. Okay, so you're talking about a different person. It depends on the new clone AA. That's true. That's true, Steve. We don't know. So we can put an asterisk next to this. Because if that clone AA is really good, or if the charm AA is really OP, they might be a 10 again, right? We don't know. So we'll say 8 with an asterisk. Asterisk. We don't know about charm / doppel AA, right? We don't know. Okay, how about quality of life? They're not quite a 10. They give you invis, they give you illusions, they give you enduring breath, they give you mez, they give you pacify, but they don't have a movement speed buff, and they don't have feign death, obviously. They don't have movement speed, they don't have IVU. Is it like a 7? What was Druid? Is it about the same as a Druid? It's probably about the same as a Druid, right? They get both invis. They get IVU, do they? I believe you. I'm gonna check because I just don't remember. Because I played Paladin, so I didn't know. Paladins get IVU really early, right? Undead. Where is it? Undead. Hello? Spook the dead. Ward undead. Sense the dead. IVU 11. Hey, thanks for the follow, guys. Thank you very much. That's Cleric. Why do you keep opening? This thing, man. This thing. Quality of life's like an 8. No ports, no movement, minimal buffs. Yeah, just the mana regen, right? They get invis, see invis, IVU. They do. They get both. So you guys think it's an 8? Mesm Energy is pretty hard to beat for quality of life, and both Invises. Both Invises is really good, man. And Enduring Breath's very convenient. Although you can get the Hayden Earring. Okay, we'll go with 8. Illusion. Illusion's really good too, right? Damage shield. Haste is not quality of life. You can't put haste and boon on quality of life. That's damage shield. Those are offense. Those are offense and leveling. Those aren't quality of life. All right, whatever. Enchanter is. Let's just put it above Cleric and S. We don't need to vote on this, right? It's obviously the only thing to vote on is if Shaman or Enchanter is better, right? Like that's that's the only thing we're gonna be arguing up here. You ever enchant bars with haste and spell like enchanting? Does that actually work? I could see it working. That's really funny if it does. guys, I gotta go enchant some metal bars. Let me go grind some AAs out. That's amazing. All right, we're on to mage. Now I'll tell you right away. After playing a mage, I think they're pretty surprisingly good. I think mage surprised me. Mage surprised me. Offense with a mage. I'm gonna say like 7. Maybe 8. Mage offense is really good. They give you these summoned things, the wrist, the ring, the earring, and there's another one I forget, shoulder, and they give you the focus effects for free right away, which is really good. Did all 4 mage pet? Yeah, they did, Rokeb. So the earth one is warrior ranger, the air one is warrior monk, the water one is warrior rogue, and the fire one is warrior wizard. It's a chore to resummon every time you log back on. That's true. That is annoying. And their water pet does a lot of damage now that you can upgrade it with the backstab, man. It's the water pet does a lot of damage. I imagine that if you had a level 49 water pet, it would do a crap ton of DPS. I can't verify it because I obviously don't have a plus 10 water pet. Or I guess you only need a plus 8 water pet, right, to get it to level 49. I think they're really high on offense. Not as high as Enchanter because Charm is ridiculous, right? And not as high as Berserker. I think a 7's about right. If you upgrade the spell, it summons items at plus. Oh, does it? That's cool. Tankiest pet you saw? Yeah. Okay, so defense for pet. Defense for mage is basically just the pet, right? Just the pet. The problem is that while the earth pet is super tanky, if you're doing a lot of damage, you're tanking, from what I've seen. Which is a huge problem. Top damage summon all pet. If they change pet logic like they change NPC logic, earth pet will be... Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. I mean, can we give... I don't know. Can we give them like a 3 for defense? Like your pet's really tanky, but against anything that's hard, you're probably tanking, unfortunately. Pets can even use Sash Shield now? Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I read somewhere that you shouldn't go past 7 on the summon pets because the focus doesn't work past rank 7 on the spell. Boy, I hope that's not true, Steve. Has anybody heard about that other than Steve? Where, like, going past rank 7 on the pet, like, makes it explode? That would be really unfortunate if that's true. If Druid is 3, then say 2 for Mage. That's fair. That's fair. No, because the pet in there, all they have is HP buffs, right? For a Druid? They're a 4. A Druid's a 4. Okay, so a 3. They tank well on D4, but they just the aggro issues, right? If they could tank, dude, if the mage pets like actually tanked legit, they would be very good defense. Earth was awful online because you were breaking the root every nuke, yeah, and that doesn't matter. Worked for multi-pulls. I mean, the Earth pet is a really good tank on multi-mob pulls because you can finagle it so you're only tanking the one thing you're killing, right? And the Earth pet is just kind of tanking the other things to the side. I did it in Soul B from 46 to 50. It totally works. Mages have elemental resistance buffs, HP buffs. Oh, that's fair. The HP buff is quite good. That's quite... I forgot. All casters get that. I'm with you. That buff is really good. That buff is really good. See, Broken knows what's up, man. He made a video on D4 Nagy, Cleric, Mage, Enchanter. I mean, did you not just tank it with a Charm pet, Neo? You did it with a pet. You did it with a Mage pet. Okay. Interesting. How long did it take? Did you time it? You did the Summon pet. So you did the Earth pet, I'm guessing? So we had like 10,000 hit points or something? I'll be right back, guys. I need to fill my cup up. 1 minute. Okay. So we got a long ways to go. We should probably focus here. So I think we're okay with 4 defense because they got the HP buffs, they have the pet that helps, and they have the AC HP with a magic resist. All right, recuperation with the mage is like a 2. Pet heals, right? That's it. There's nothing else, right? Maybe somebody will say something, but I think I'm just a 2. They do something. They can heal their pet. That's it. Leveling with a mage. So I'd give it an 8. Oh, they have Mod Rod. Okay. How good is Mod Rod in this? How much mana does it give you? They heal their pet and they have Mod Rod. I think that's still a 2. It's not that good, right? You can resummon a new pet and press leave at the last moment and you have a brand new pet. Yeah, but then the boss is on you. But yeah, you could do that. Unless you have a Feign Death class, I guess. Crazy 6. If you have a Feign Death class, then that's viable. Or a Membler or something. Mod Rod kind of sucks, but Mage is a really good 1 to 10. Oh, Mage is the best class 1 to 10. Nobody's going to convince me otherwise. With no gear, Mage is the best 1 to 10. They're also really great because you can rotate pets rather than level pet spells as you level up. Oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't do that because I was like struggling. I was struggle busing with money, but that's an interesting point. Anyone level Mod Rod? That's a good question, Neo. Dude, if Mod Rod got better with levels, that actually might be kind of cracked, right? It'd be like having another Canny 5. You didn't see Mod Rod, but did see upgraded version of the Summoned Armor. Just increase the AC by +1. Oh, that's not very good. Alright, I'm going to say level 8 for leveling. I don't know if you guys have leveled with a mage, but mages are crazy at leveling. Having the pet that soaks hits and backstabs and does damage and you blast, they crush. They can carry your leveling, especially when you have shitty gear. Mage great to level, won't need gear. Yeah, you summon the gear that matters, right? Now, bossing for mage, I feel like they're a lot worse at bossing. Like maybe at 5. Like they can bring the pet DPS that can be kind of high, but it's not going to be like a charm pet, right? And then they have nukes that are not quite wizard nukes, but you know, there's something, but they only have magic and fire, so there's going to be some bosses where it just doesn't work, really. What do you guys think for a 5? Let me know. I think that's probably fine. Mages are in phases. Fully geared plus 10 gear. Yeah, I don't know. That's hard. Yeah, it's hard to... You just kind of have to make an average in your mind. I don't think we're going to isolate beginning or end because that gets too complicated. So, however, whatever your heart tells you. 5 feels pretty good to Kyle. They literally add nothing other classes don't bring better. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so for quality of life, they summon food and drink really fast. And I'm going to tell you, I always forget to buy food and drink. So I like that. And they have invis. And they have EB items. They have levitate rings. That's kind of nice. They summon armor with focus effects. I think like a 6. They're pretty good, right? They're pretty good at quality of life. They don't give you speed movement, which sucks. They don't give you, like feign death and stuff, which are like the best. Arrows, they can summon. I mean, summoning arrows doesn't really count because you only need one arrow. Water breathing is good though. EB. Call the hero. That's not. I don't think that's gonna be a thing, and that's not a thing yet. It's Kunark, so no. I mean, it won't matter. I mean, maybe it will. If we go to like Vex Stall and you're summoning a friend, maybe you'll use it once. They did just add Pet Flurry. Oh yeah, that's true. That was on the patch notes, wasn't it? I think they both not get Pet Flurry? Oh no, it was just the Beast one. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, so where's Mage? Like a B? I think Mage I think Mage is better than Druid, guys. What do you guys think? I think it's in here. Which one's better? You guys gonna vote? Pick Druid or Mage, I think. Or do you think it's somewhere else? Pet Flurry will not help their work. That's fair. I have no argument against that, Broken. I just don't know. Eh? You think a Mage is as good as a Bard? You think it's better than a Berserker? I don't think so. I don't know. Vote. You think Mage better than Druid? That's what my vote is too. I think it's a little better than Druid. What does everybody else think? Low B? So you think it's worse? So Raphael, do you think it's worse or better than Druid? I think we all kind of feel like B's. B's seems to be the common sentiment, but you can't think of a class individually since the trio. I mean, we're just guessing, Twerk. We have to make best guesses. We can think of it individually if we want to. I think I'm thinking of it both ways in my mind, right? I'm like, what does it do individually? What is it going to bring when it is with people? And you just got to kind of guess, right? All right, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. We're going to stop with that. So next class we have is Monk. So Monk is interesting because they just got 10% free haste and they were already pretty good, guys. What's a Monk's offense? Like an 8? An 8 or a 9? It's not Enchanter. It's got to be an 8. If Enchanter's 9, it's 8. Right? Because Enchanter, actually, I don't know. Monk always gives it to you, and they have the second best weapons in the game, and they give you triple. And then for leveling, dude, leveling subsequent combos, Monk is gonna be cracked, man. 10% that exceeds haste cap, Grand. It is 10% that is basically V3 over haste. Stacks with everything. And triple attack. 9 if you count the Woo's Fist. I mean, I'm counting the Woo's Fist. They don't have procs. Dude, people overvalue procs in Classic. I'm telling you. I haven't really looked all that much at breakdowns. But unless your proc is Puma, your proc's not doing that much damage. If somebody can give me an example of where I'm wrong, I would be interested. Can we post links? It depends what the link is too, Broken. I have the Net Nanny on. It would have to be like something like EQ Wiki or something that is safe. Is it to like a website that I can verify is definitely always safe, and then I can put it in my whitelist? Improvement is almost like a lay of hands at rank every 3 minutes. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna go with 8 for this for now. Defense. I mean, they have really good defense. Mend is almost as good as lay on hands if you use it on cooldown. It's crazy. I think it's like 75% the value of lay on hands. And that's without the crit. Mend is really good. And then max block and dodge is so good. And then if you happen to get the AC bonus from being a monk, they're even better. Maybe like a 9, because they don't get, somebody said before, they don't get parry. That is significant. They do not get parry. And of course, they don't give you plate armor. Right? So there are some things that they're missing. Men doesn't count as defense. Oh, I guess that's true. Oh, I guess that's true, Crusade. I guess that's true. I mean, what are they missing? They're basically missing parry. No defensive stance. Good call. No defensive stance. They only get evasive. They also don't give you like Mage Hunter, right? They get evasive, yeah. But I mean, I think other than for Eye of Vishan, defensive is mostly better than evasive. Unless you're spamming AoE nukes or something, then evasive's kind of nuts, right? Evasive is really good. It is really good, especially for Eye of Vishan. Evasive is the secret sauce for Eye of Vishan, boys. Which is, it's not the hardest boss in the game, but it's close to it. They're a 9 on defense. They bring highest cap, but they don't have parry or plate. They don't have parry or plate. That's massive, right? Parry, plate, defense. I think on 8. I think it's an 8. A 10 for offense. They are the only 185% haste class in the game. Take that on top of Berserker. They also have a lower AC cap than a ranger. That's true. They do have. I don't know. I think 8 for defense is the highest I'm gonna go. They're really. If you put a monk with a warrior or a knight or something, combined they become a 10, right? But monk by itself, like it's missing some stuff. It's missing some stuff, so I can't give it a 10, right? Yeah, but still 8. Yeah. First aid for sustain on a monk. LOL, I mean, you do need first aid to get the crit mend, Crazy Six. So I know you were kidding, but it is actually a thing. So I mean, for this, probably like a 5. What do you think? Mend is worth a 5. That's pretty much all they get, but mend is really good. Mend is really good, especially once you have the crit AA. No buffs or slows also lower AC overall versus plate. Yeah, Paladin. Men plus Zerk is insane. You know, somebody was talking about that, and I saw somebody say that Zerker stance affects Mend, and then I had another person say that it didn't, and another person say that it does. Has anybody confirmed that if you're in Berserker stance, when you push Mend, it works? It doesn't. I didn't think it did. I didn't think it did, personally. Because if it does, it's kind of like the best healing skill in the game. Only affects kicks and punches. Okay, we're gonna make that assumption. I think it's a 5 because it's like 2/3 to 3/4 of a lay on hands, or better if it crits. But that's all they get, right? Does not affect men. Can't confirm. Thank you, Steve. All right, we'll go with 5. Leveling for a monk. It's probably pretty high, right? Because like the first time through, they're not that great. They give you dual wield and double attack, but your weapons are crappy the first time. But once you've gone through and you go to Plane of Sky and you get the Woo's Fists, they're going to obliterate everything with their weapons, right? And Mend for leveling is really good. Feign Death is like a pause button for people that have kids, which is actually a really good thing for leveling. I feel like it'd be a 6 because it also has no interrupt chance, no resource spending. It's a free, okay. It's free. You're right. It's free. That I can go with that. It is free. It literally doesn't cost you anything to mend. Monk can't swipe out Rubicite BP. It's not. I'm gonna be honest. Rubicite BP is like not on my radar. It is like not. That is like not an important item. I don't think. It's that like even if it gives you like 15 regen because you've upgraded it, it's like. It's so like okay, so if you let's pretend it has 15 regen on it. Yeah? That means that you get 150 HP a minute from it. And then you lose whatever else you would have put in the any slot. I don't think it's that good. And this is like a high estimate, right? I don't think it's that good. I think it's nostalgia talking when people say it's good. With Bard, I can't afford it in any slot, for example. Yeah, with the Bard, you definitely can't. That's true. Bard does kind of nuke your any slots, doesn't it? It's basically non-impactful compared to everything else you can get. Yeah, I agree. On Warrior, it is a little better. Probably, because you're kind of doing regen. But it's still just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's that good. We'll agree to disagree, Grand. I just don't think, yeah, if that's what Kyle just said is kind of echoing my thoughts. It's a drop in the bucket. It's just not that impactful. Especially if you have any class that can heal. Like if you can just press greater heal, that regen is just like not a thing. The only regen that I think is worth thinking about is the warrior AA regen. Because the warrior AA regen, with how much HP we have, is quite a lot of regen. And it's kind of free, right? It doesn't cost you an item slot. You just kind of get it. You leaning hard towards Monk, Bard, Beast, or Necro? Monk, Bard, Beast. Boy, I would pick Necro over Beast for that combo, personally. I think I would pick Necro in that combo. The AA regen is huge. Yeah, it's a lot of health regen. It is a lot. Bard, Monk, Berserker, 215% haste, chainsaw noises. Does unyielding not affect all regen they have? Yeah, it's 30. It's still just... I mean, the 15 was a number I pulled out of my butt. I don't know. What is Rubicite even... I don't know. Warrior AJ 1% regen may be nerfed in the future. Will it? Like, how much is it? So that you have, like, what? 8k HP at level 50 if you have good gear on a warrior? Assuming you're an ogre, which I'm assuming you will be. So that's like 800 a minute. It's pretty good. 800 a minute's pretty nuts. But it's not like OP. Right? It heals your health bar one time over a long fight. It's not that good. It's just, it's good. It's definitely not OP. Wonder what the best options for any slots are. Pretty much shields. Shields and then like russet breastplate or like planar breastplates you're not wearing. I think those are the best options, Swin Diesel. I'm sure there's some other stuff I'm not thinking of that people could think of. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of items that Interrupt drops that you can wear two of that are both really good. Hey, thanks for the follow, Chaz. TJ's. That's definitely TJ's, not Tiaz. I'm okay. Alright, so leveling with a monk. I got distracted. I don't know, like a 7? What are people saying? We got distracted by that HP regen thing. What is the leveling with a monk? Like a maybe an 8. Maybe a 9? They're so good. Wu's fists are crazy. I'm gonna give them a 9. Dude, men plus Wu's fists is just cracked. It's cracked. They're so good for leveling. 15 minutes, Feign Death plus men equals 9, 7 or 8. I'm gonna go with 8. I think 9's too much. It's pretty safe, reliable. 8 seems great, but low survivability mid against casters. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll go with 8. I'm happy with that. Okay, so bossing for a monk. Well, it's certainly not a 10. It's certainly not a 10, but it's got to be pretty high, right? Because they provide an insane amount of defense that you can't get anywhere else. Yeah, Feign Death is good for leveling. That's true, Neo. It's really good for leveling, especially if you have to like go pee. If you have to go to the bathroom, pause. Wu's Fist is endgame. Why does that be considered for leveling? This isn't leveling. This is everything. Leveling, you can use it next time, Grand. The first time through, your weapons are going to suck. But you're not going to level once in this game, probably. You're going to get to endgame, get double Wu's Fist, and start at level 10 and blast everything. Right? That's what's going to happen. For, I think, a majority of people. Certainly for me. Certainly for me. Boss, I don't know, like a 7? Oh yeah, we saw reincarnation thing. We don't know what that is yet, but that's a thing. I feel like bossing in this case would be in the calm of off defense recoup, so 7 and 8, yeah. Because Mend is, once again, for bossing, Mend is very good. Block dodge is huge. Bonus AC eventually might be something. They do really good damage. They give you crazy weapons. They give you triple attack. Bossing 8. Okay, people seem to feel like 8 for Monk. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Quality of life. They do give you sneak, right? They give you sneak, and they give you Feign Death. And that's pretty much it, right? Feign Death is a lot of quality of life, because it saves you a lot of time in, like, Nagafin's Lair and stuff, right? They get sneak. I'm pretty sure they get sneak. Am I losing my mind? I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they get sneak. Let's make sure. Let's make sure it didn't come from somewhere else, and I just had it. They get sneak but no high. Yeah, but that's fine. Sneak is what you want. Sneak is just for buying a new Sebelis and turning stuff in, right? Mend is a quality of life. It kind of is. You're kind of right. You're kind of right, because there's no opportunity cost to press Mend, right? So it, like, saves you time. Yeah, monk gets sneak. So that's... So maybe below... I mean, you don't get movement speed, though. You don't get invis. You have to feign. But feign is kind of like invis, but harder to do. They get bandaging. Yeah, dude. A bandaging, 10. 10 quality of life. I think I give him like a 6. Feign death plus opportunity cost for mend, and then just having sneak, so you don't have to keep switching your classes all the time, and then you get to skip a lot of trash if you want with feign death is pretty glorious, right? And it makes things like Eye of Ishan and Bee Island and stuff like way more forgiving. I always delete the bandages first thing after creating a character. Yeah, I don't blame you. Double Woos Fist, Mother of God. I was thinking staying Pal Monk and switching the third, doing Aldrin / Woos, but double Woos. I mean, Aldrin is better than Woos Fist, but not by very much. Everyone gets invis past level 40 with AA. That's true. That's true. But you have to spend AAs for it. That's like saying everybody gets stun immunity past level 40 and then ignoring the fact that it costs 35 AA, right? It's not 100% true to say they get it. Yeah, they only get sneak, but sneak is really good in this server, right? Because new Stabilis is a thing. Everybody, I think most people are going to be doing the sneak buy for a little while in new Stabilis, right? Of pure melee, the highest quality. That's true. That's true. That's fair, Rokeb. Okay, let's go with this. So monk. I mean, monk's S tier, right? Or is it high A? It's just a list of examples, guys. Right? High A. I think it's definitely better than Bard. I think it's definitely better than Bard, so this seems good. High A. It's not game breaking on its own. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, so we'll go. I think I'm okay with high A because like Kyle said, it's really good, but it's not game breaking. Like it doesn't make you do 300 DPS with just charm spell, right? all right. We're gonna move on. We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it there. Next class. So we got Necro. This one I'm gonna have less good input on this because I'm gonna like not have the insight on some of the stuff for Necro. So for offense, it has okay dots, but they don't compare with Shaman dots, right? They get the Bloodline and they get E-Bolt, which are both pretty good. They have the one that heals you, which it may be worth casting that if you don't have a real healer in your comp, right? Maybe. But maybe you just tap and maybe it's more efficient. I don't really know. Its pet is not that bad, right? Offensively, I've heard that the Necro pet is better offensively than the Enchanter pet, assuming we're not charming. Necros can technically charm in some places. You can charm in Lower Gook. You can charm in Plane of Hate and Fear sometimes. I don't know if it'd be worth doing, but you can do it. Those rats are undead. I bet you can charm those. You can probably charm the vampires too, maybe, right? I don't know. You can definitely charm, like, I would assume you can charm the zombies and stuff in Fear. But it's not like a huge part of their kit, right? It's just a thing you could do. Also get the negation of life dot. That is kind of an offensive thing, Grand. The negation of life dot is kind of an offense thing. That's a good shout out. Clear A. They can charm undead, yeah. Offense is high. Don't even count dots, count taps. They new card. Okay, so like what is it? Is it like a 7? Is Necro offense like a 7? For like not quite as good as Shaman dots. Life taps that heal you while killing a pet that's pretty good for damage. Maybe not the best tank, but we're only talking about offense here. Best dot stacking. No, Shaman's better. Shaman's better, man. Odium and Plague are kind of disgusting, like from an efficiency and DPS standpoint. The problem is that Necro has like only really 2 like DPS dots, right? Wait, how much damage does the heal one do? How much damage does the heal one do? It's not a lot, right? Or is it? I haven't really looked at it. What was that one? What is that one called again? What is that dot called? There's gonna be a, it's cancellation of life or something like that, right? I'm pretty sure it's, oh, cessation, there it is. 72 a tick, and it lasts a long time. Wait, this is actually pretty good. This is pretty good. Okay, so maybe cessation is pretty good. On other servers, the heal one does a lot of damage. On this server, it doesn't do as much. Yeah, it doesn't heal you for as much either, right? Didn't they make it like like a portion of the damage, so it's not like OP? I think 7. I think 7's fine for offense, with all that said. Okay, so for defense, they pretty much just give you the mage buff that mages had, but they give you Giga Life Taps. And Giga Life Taps are, I guess that's recuperation, so I guess defense they're like a 2. They're just a 2, right? They get like their HP MR thing. Do they get anything else for defense? That's like it, right? I guess the pet is kind of something while you're leveling, but only sort of. They give you skeleton form, it scares away all the bad. Okay, fair. Doesn't give almost anything, yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah, classic. We got the recuperation next. Necro will be really high on recoup, but on defense, I think it's really just the HPAC buff. Assistal is defensive-ish. That's true. Assistal is quite good. For those that don't know, Assistal does a big strength nuke, which is pretty, this is pretty effective on bosses. That's true. So I still don't think it pulls them out of a 2. I still think it's like, you need a tab back, you missed the other dots. I know what the other dots are, Mordiakin. There's the fire one. There's E-Bolt that Shaman also has. Feign Death. That's not really defense, but yeah. DA. They have DA. Do they have that now? I thought that was a Kunark spell for Necro. I thought DA was Necro was Kunark. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at 2. I don't think I think they have a lot of recoup. They can slow undead as well. Oh, really? Oh, can they? Who matters that they can slow? Can they slow Dracolich? That'd be something, I guess. Dracolich isn't that hard, though. I don't know. The Life Leech dot. Yeah, yeah. I played Necro a crazy amount in the beta, and they're like a 0 on defensive. But because I was so strong, it really works. They can slow undead, apparently, Crazy 6. So, okay, so recuperation, we give them like a 7? An 8? Probably like an 8, right? They have really high mana regen, and their healing potential is quite high, while being less efficient than actual healing. What do you guys think? An 8 for recoup on a Necro? It's got to be higher than Enchanter, right? Yeah, Enchanter's only 8, only 6. I think 8's pretty fair. I mean, who's even high on recoup? Cleric's 9. Yeah, that's fair. I think an 8. It has to be higher than Enchanter. Yeah, it's quite strong. Yeah, I think 8's good. How about leveling for a Necro? Who's leveled with a Necro? It doesn't seem like a Necro is all that great at leveling to me. Like, you could argue that the taps are like good, but wouldn't it be better to just like nuke harder than a tap and then like regen out of combat for like 3 ticks? Or am I wrong? Their mana return is nasty, 100 a tick. Yeah, that's kind of how Necro and Enchanter both land, Swin Diesel, when you have the recovery going. For taps. Yeah, you have taps, you have a pet. You get both invises while leveling, which is significant. I know that's quality of life, but that does matter while leveling too. But you're not going to use... I still think that you're only going to use poison dots if you're doing lots of mobs at once, like Broken was saying, or you're fighting like something with a lot of health. Because if it doesn't tick the whole duration, it's not as good as just nuking it, right? I guess it depends what you are too. Maybe like a 6 for leveling. It's slightly slower than Enchanting Leveler. Well, because I mean, Enchanter AoE Mez is like uncontested for leveling. AoE Mez is disgusting for leveling. You can root rot. Yeah, that's not a thing, Crazy Six. Nobody's doing that. Not on this server. That's like not, you can, but you're not going to. Spell Sword with their life tap. Yeah, that might be okay. If you really want to use Spell Sword, that's probably a good use of it. I won't be using Spell Sword because I don't think it's good, but taps are really strong for leveling because they're cast in lieu of any healing. Yeah. So maybe a 7. People really like taps for leveling. Not better on boss fights, but during leveling, yeah. Inversion is still better. Yeah, it really is. Inversion, then switching to recovery and going back and forth is just better. If they buff open world mass fear cutting, if you can find a place where you can fight enough mobs, that's the real problem with open world. Like, our kill speed is so high, and open world like leveling areas, like everything's so spread out, right? The density is just not there. The mana usage of doing damage while healing yourself is unmatchable. That's fair, Kyle. That's fair. Okay, so let's talk about bossing. So the dots are pretty good for bossing. The taps are pretty good for bossing. And the pet is there. But overall, I don't feel like they bring all that much to bossing. Like a 4. Necro never needs a break. Yeah, just like Enchanter. Enchanter and Necro never need a break. That's true. That's true. Higher than a 4? What would you guys put it at for bossing? I mean, it's not bad at it. It's just that, like, it's fairly one-dimensional in what it brings. I mean, I guess it has 2 dimensions, right? It does the dots that do some good damage, and then it also can heal while killing. Thanks for the follow, Jay. A 6? We think a 6? A 6 for bossing? Especially if you're going to plan if you do happen to play a Shaman, they become a lot better at bossing, which is pretty likely combo with Necro. If you put a Wizard with a Necro, it's also very good. Necro has dots that reliably land on bosses. That's a good point. Taps have silly resist. Yeah, they're basically unresistible unless they're immune, Swin. Not quite, but they're almost functionally unresistible, right? Especially since you're going to upgrade taps if you're using them. Because of spell upgrades, you can stack 5 different dots with the AA crits and life tap. I don't think you're going to stack all 5. I think with a Necro, you're going to stack 3.5. You're going to do the fire one. You're going to do the poison one. You might do... You're going to do Assistol, probably, if the boss is hitting hard. And then maybe you do Cessation. And I guess if Necro is your only healer, I guess maybe you do the 5th one that heals you. Maybe you do 5. Between 2 and 5, right? I guess it just depends on your combo and stuff, right? Necro is terrible and needs buffs. Lots of buffs. One-dimensional, but it's damn good at what it does, yeah. Okay, so I guess a 6 is fine. Okay, let's go with a 6. What's the quality of life for Necro? You get Feign Death, you get both Invis, and you get EB and Lev. They have Mez. They have Ghetto Mez. Dude, are they like an 8? They have so much. They have so much. They have Mez. They have Feign Death. They have both Invises. They have EB and Levitate. A 7? Okay, a 7 sounds fine. A 7 sounds fine. Yeah, they can't be the same as an Enchanter. It's not quite that good, right? You Scream of Terror a lot. Undead Slow. Yeah, that's yeah, in Gook, you might use Undead Slow like on the Lord or Frenzy or something. Charm. Charm's not really a quality of life. I mean, it kind of is, I guess. It does make you, like, go faster. Summon Corpse. Yeah, dude, don't forget Summon Corpse. Nah, Mana Rage ends in Recuperation. It's not... Quality of life is just, like, things that, like, make you feel better about yourself. They're not really, like, impacting performance. Feign Death greater than most other quality of life. I agree with you, Teledim. I think Feign Death or Pacify are probably the best quality of life things in the game. All right, that's good with Necro. Where's Necro go, guys? It's got to be A at least, right? I think it's better than a Bard. What do you guys think? I think I'd put it there. I think I'd put it below Monk and above Bard. C. Jay wants it to get buffed. Jay's sandbagging. Ain't no way it's C. Ain't no way it's a Beastlord. Here's where it gets fun. Where does it fit on the tier list? It's above Mage and B? Steve thinks it's above Mage and B. You think it's worse than a Berserker? I think it's better than Berserker. I wish base feign death was more than 80%. Yeah, I don't know what that... I don't know. It's an AA. Can't it just be 100%? I don't know. It's above Berserker 100%. I agree. Is Brass in here? If so, it's a C. Jay has strategies, guys. Jay has, you know, he's thinking about what he's saying. He's got a plan. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm excited to try the Warrior Necro Shaman combo. I think it's gonna be really good. All right, so next we have Paladin. We just put this in S tier, right? We just put Paladin in S tier, right? Someone said Necropet can basically equal Mage. It has a 250 tap. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that the Necropet does a surprising amount of damage. Alright, so Paladin, offense. Its offense is not very good. But it does have the best weapon in the game. And it has Slay Undead. So maybe like a 6? It has Slay Undead, best weapon in the game, and Smite is not nothing. It has a self-haste, which isn't great, but it's something. It has the knife innate thing, which is pretty good. I forget the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, the innate proc thing. I think a 6 is pretty good. It has some conditionals. Like if you're fighting undead, it's a 10. If you're fighting undead, it's like a 10. But if you're not fighting undead, then, you know, it's less good. But it still has the best weapon in the game. So, but paired with dual with triple attack, yeah, exactly. It has a permanent haste too. Is it permanent? So if you have a 50%, you'd need a 55% haste item for that to matter though, Grand. And I don't even know if you can do that. I don't think the haste upgrade's enough on the sky belts. Condemnation of Knife, yeah. Yeah, race, that's it. That's what I was thinking. Best one-handers. Yep, it has the best one-hander in the game. Knight one-handers go really good with... Yeah, I mean, that's why Paladin Monk is so good, right? Because you get the 2 best weapons. I mean, versus Berserker weapon, right? Whatever, it's... But dual wield has been shown by lots of reliable sounding people that dual wield is just better. Oh, is it 25? Even with hate spell, it doesn't cap. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, so defense. We're not counting heals. Keep that in mind. Because if you were counting heals in defense, it would be an automatic 10 because lay on hands is disgusting. But defense. It's worse than a warrior. It's the same as a Shadowknight. It gives you plate. Like probably like a 7 or an 8. Maybe 8. Maybe 8. 7, not counting heals. Maybe 7. Because it loses block. And losing block is massive. It also gets the best shield in the game. And it's the only person that can wear the shield in any slot. And that shield is really good. Just saying. The Paladin only shield from hate is really good. But I think 7's fine. I think 7 is fine. Recuperation is 10. No, wait, what's a Cleric? No, it can't be 10. We'll give it an 8. Because it doesn't... Wait. So Cleric is a 9 because it has the best heals, right? So I guess it has to be an 8. Because it doesn't give you mana or endurance. It's the second best healer, though, right? Put an asterisk on a 6 like we did with Enchanter. 10 if undead. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Star. 10 undead. Cleric is easy 9, yeah. So an 8. Because it's a little worse than a Cleric, right? But it's not that much worse than a Cleric, because Lay on Hands really is just that good. Okay, I think that's fine. I think it has to be worse than a Cleric, but not by much. It might be as good as a Cleric. Yeah, in some ways it kind of is. You don't have to think about it as much with Lay on Hands, right? You just sit there and watch your hit points. You just sit there and watch your hit points, and then when it's like 20%, you push a button. You don't have to like time it and stuff, right? Which is nice. It's safer. It's safer than PR. Lich? What about Lich? That's for Necro. Alright, leveling with a Paladin. I think leveling with a Paladin is like a 9. I think Slay Undead is that good. And Paladins are your tank and your healer at the same time. with Slay Undead plus the Condemnation of Knife. I think they're one of the best levelers in the game. I think they almost compete with Enchanter. Yeah, maybe a 10. Honestly, maybe a 10. What do you guys think? 9 or 10? 8 on Undead, they're mid. That's true. That's fair. So we can't be a 10 because we can't assume we're always fighting Undead. That's fair. I think I'll go with 9 because you're not always fighting Undead. You're not always fighting Undead. Like, there's that period in Befallen, right? Like somewhere around 18 to 24 where you're not fighting Undead anymore. Then you go to Gook and you're fighting Undead forever. But then you get to like level 45 or 46 and you might not be fighting them anymore. Pally direct heals carried. It's true. Pally direct heals do carry. And lay on hands, right? Yeah. I think 9's good. Unrest. Nobody's going to Unrest right now, Neo. Unless they're just doing it to do it. How is their group heal? They don't have... Did they have a group heal here? I thought only clerics had group heal. Yeah, I think it's 9. Because not everything's undead. If you could literally legitimately like want to level on undead the entire time, they'd be like an 11. They'd be like an 11 leveling. They have a group heal at 39. Really? I want to see. I didn't know that. I never used it, obviously, because I was always solo, so it was pointless for me. But 39, huh? Let's see. Wave of Life, there it is. 200. 200 hit points. So if you had it like upgraded with like the focus and stuff, it'd do like 300. It's something, I guess. I think paladins are the reason people tell everyone to go to the hole because of the ghost. Yeah, the ghost. I leveled on the ghost. I don't think it's worth it. They kind of beat your face in. And it's like a lot more effort. I think that's the problem with the ghosts. The ghosts are probably faster if you're diligent about it. But it's a lot. You have to pay attention more because they actually can kill you. Unlike the other stuff that you're really not going to die. All right, bossing with a paladin. Bossing on a paladin. Is it like an 8? A 9? Ghosts still suck. Like an 8 maybe for bossing? There's not very many bosses that are undead, unfortunately. What is it, like Maestro of Rancor and Dracolich? And that's like it? Oh, and I guess some of those vampires. Hate's pretty good for bossing for them, but is better / as good as monk. What do we put? So 8? I mean, 8. A monk plus a paladin is a 10. You gotta be 9 because of lay on hands. I mean, that's a fair argument. Lay on hands really is just that good. Paladin instrument and knife perma buff also chance for undead damage. That's true. 46 plus leveling hate on paladin is so chill. Yeah, I mean, you get pacified too. Yeah, dude, paladin for leveling is disgusting. They're your tank, your healer, your damage, and your freaking CC. They're so dumb. Shield AC goes beyond cap. If you wear a shield in your shield slot. If your shield is in your any slot, it does not do the soft cap boost. Which you probably won't. You probably won't wear a shield. Unless you're doing like some build where you're just doing all magic damage, right? Or if you're a ranger. If you're doing a bow and you're only DPSing with a bow, you can wear a shield. No one's gonna wear those shields for uncap AC. Yeah, I don't think most people will. Nightwana hinders buff any dual wield build, that's true. I mean, Aldrin is disgusting. Alright, so quality of life. They get IVU and they get pacify. Is that it? I think they only get that. I think they just get IVU and pacify. Pacify is pretty good. IVU is pretty good. Do they get invul? They get a horse. Oh, they get a horse. They get a horse. We'll bump them up 2 points for the horse. Symbol's not quality of life. Mage, Shaman had to sword and board, but love the aesthetic. Pally, Mage, Shaman. I mean, I think Paladin with like Necro Shaman might sword and board. Just to do like lots of dot damage. They get 25% haste buff. That's like offense though, not quality of life. Quality of life is like things that just make your life easier. They're not performance based, right? Shaman will be a main healer. I agree. Berserker Paladin. Berserker Paladin is actually a good main healer for a group. With Shaman, yeah, I agree with you, Hagen. That's a good combo if you're a main group's healer. Paladin, Berserker, Shaman. Is Revive quality of life? No. Be honest, has anybody actually rezzed anybody on the beta? Like, legitimate question. Has anybody actually used that? Maybe you have. I don't think so, though. I don't think you res anybody on the beta. You can't. Oh, you can't. Well, then... Only in lower Gug. Okay. Does resing yourself for kicks count? I guess so. I guess so. All right. So we know Paladin's S tier. Where does it go? We know it's S tier. It's obviously S tier. Where? I think it's better than a Cleric. I think Paladin's better than Cleric. Like, overall. Is it better than Enchanter, though? I don't think so. I think this is where I put it. What do you guys think? I think it's better than Cleric and worse than Enchanter. No corpse if they release. Oh, it just disappears. That makes sense. It just poofs. Yeah. So can you combat res people? Is that a thing? That might be a thing later. If you can combat res people, that could actually be kind of fire. I was revived in combat. So you can. Okay, so Dastian had it happen. Wait. We're getting a no and a yes. We don't know. Hard to beat Enchanter, yeah. I think this is where it goes, right? I think it's Paladin. I think everybody agrees that Enchanter's just broken because of Charm and infinite mana. And then Paladin's just disgusting. All right, what are we on? We're on Ranger. Oh no. Oh no, this is going to be some divisive opinions. Ranger offense. I've heard that Ranger offense is actually parsed to be really high. My instinct is to say like a 7. And the reason I don't put it higher is their weapon options kind of blow. But I will say, Ranger get the best offhand usable proc in the game, I'm pretty sure. Let me find it. I think they're the only person that gets a really good offhand proc other than Tash Orb. It's Flux-Bladed Axe. This is offhand usable, right? Yeah. This is a really good offhand proc. And I think they're the only person that gets a good offhand proc. Like, that's better than, like, Yakesha or a Tash Orb. Which is pretty good. Range DPS is very good once you have gear. Also, if you're not tanking, right? They can be fantastic when paired with other things, but by themselves you don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can fuse them together, right? However you're imagining playing a Ranger is good enough. Even geared range is nothing close to melee. I agree with that on seeing people do it. It's fun for big numbers, though. Right? Range dance is fun, because you see huge numbers. What build was that on? Someone please tell you. Ranger is sleeper, great damage early until everyone else gets their toys. Yeah, that makes sense. Ranger attack rating buffs and strike through, right? Strike through and attack rating buffs from the Ranger are no joke, guys. They're good. Other better AA that hits through defenses. Imagine range negating in untimely situations. Strike through is very, very high value for tanking warrior. Yeah, I agree. So you guys think 7 is fine? I think a 7. I think 7. It's 7. I'm leaning towards 7 or 8. 7 or 8 are both really good. It's. I can't decide because that proc really leans me towards 8, but I haven't parsed it enough. They get crappy weapons though. But I guess if you're like a ranger monk, then it doesn't matter. What are the other people? Monk is 8. Should it be the same as monk? Maybe it should be the same as monk. Maybe it should be the same as monk. Their offense is really good. I think I've convinced myself. It's an 8. They just need to get propped up by somebody else's weapons, because their weapon options suck. Ranger and melee is above monk for offense. Well, in a vacuum, it's not. Because you put monk fists versus whatever ranger's doing, the monk fists are going to smash it, right? But not in a vacuum, then maybe you're right. But ranger has to lean on someone else's weapons. Right? Their weapons are not that good. If Devs say Ranger is the highest parse, then it should have the highest offense ranking. No, because what's the highest Ranger parse, Steve? What's the combo? It's got to be with an Enchanter in it, right? Is it like Ranger, Shaman, Enchanter or something? I bet Ranger, Shaman, Enchanter is probably one of the highest. Because you can dot and have Ranger melee and have a charm at the same time. That would be cracked damage, right? Yeah, dude, Ranger, that sounds crazy to me. Ranger, Enchanter, Shaman, if you're just trying to blast, I think that's the highest I can think of. Combo was ranged Necro Shaman. Okay, and Puma. Okay. So I was close. I was close. Okay, so the dots, the Necro dots was worth more than. Okay, so. But you gotta pair it with Shaman. Because Puma and E-Bolt is cracked. Bard is going to get you more DPS than Enchanter. Absolutely not, Coercer. Have you seen Charm Pet DPS, Coercer? Have you seen it? Because if you haven't, you should. There are some Charm Pets that are absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Bard gets the same thing. That's true. That's fair. It's not, it's just less reliable, I guess. It's less reliable. If you, only if you want to charm, charming can break though, and it's not that fun. Yeah, only if you want to charm. That's true, Jay. We did kind of put that in for Enchanter offense, because we talked about it before. We ended it at 9 though, with where we didn't put it at 10 because of what Jay said mostly. It's less duration, but that does mean Enchanter is higher DPS. Does that mean Enchanter is higher DPS? I mean, you lose at least a little bit of DPS when you recharm, but that's a fair argument, Coercer. You have a fair argument. You have a fair argument. All right, so what about defense for Ranger? Defense for Ranger is pretty good, right? I think that a Ranger defensively is almost as good as a Paladin. Or maybe the same. Because they get blocked, but their AC and stuff is worse, right? Oh, they don't get defensive. They don't get defensive, though. I'll give him like a 6. What do you guys think? Is a 6 good for Ranger defense? Enchanter AA should make keeping the C harm more reliable. Oh, yeah, that's true. They have Tash. That's true. They have Tash. Riposte? I mean, I think all knights and everything have riposte too, right? Third highest AC cap. No defensive. No. They have block. They have block. I am fairly confident that the wiki is wrong on the no block. Can anybody confirm? Can anybody confirm Ranger has block? Because I'm 99% sure they do. Yeah. Okay, that's good enough for me. One person immediately snap said they have block. I was pretty sure they did. Okay, recuperation. They do get block. Rogue doesn't. Right, Rogue doesn't. Right. Recuperation. So their heals are something. Their endurance regen is something. Maybe like a 4. Maybe like a 4. They have worse defense caps than other knights. Yeah, that's why they're one below, right? That's why they're one below, because they get block where knights don't, but they don't get to wear plate. And and they have lower AC and HP caps. So recoup 4. They get endurance regen. It's worse than Shaman and Druid, but they also have a passable heal. Right? It's not garbage. It's something. Ranger has parry, Monk don't, and many don't. That's true. That's true. Self-AC buffs. Okay. You're right. They have self-AC buffs, but so does Paladin. Do you think a Ranger and Paladin are the same defensively? Because I don't. I think a Paladin is at least a little higher. Did you see that they added an AA so Enchanter Charm doesn't break for a duration? Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, we put that in an asterisk on the Enchanter bossing. I said we don't know about the Charm and Doppel AAs. Because they might be a 10 at bossing if those are good. Is Bash even a thing for your build? You can slam with an Ogre if you dual wield. Even without the AA. I think those AC buffs don't stack with Force of Nature. Oh, that's unfortunate, because you want Force of Nature. Force of Nature is the endurance regen, right, Avist? Lay on Hand puts Paladin in another tier of defense. Well, defense is not Lay on Hands, Coercer. That's recuperation. Right? We have them separated because they're different. Because recuperation includes heals, mana regen, and endurance regen. It's different, right? Yeah. Okay, so with 4, I guess we're all okay with 4. Leveling. What's leveling like with a Ranger? My experience with a Ranger was kind of sandbagging and being garbage. So what is other people's experience with Ranger? Tracking. Tracking's cool with leveling. They have Giga Track. That's good. They do have some heals. They eventually get Pacify. They're defensive enough. They can use the important weapons while leveling. Like a 5 maybe? They get attack rating? Maybe they're like a 6. Maybe they're pretty good. A 3? You think it's that low, Crusade? You did Ranger, Rogue, Shaman. Ranger and Rogue Poison Dot was actually okay. Leveling with Ranger is strong. They add quick nukes. Oh, that's right. Goth makes a good point. The Ranger quick nukes for leveling are really good. They're very efficient. And the cast time is almost non-existent. They're really good. Tracking is great. Divine is really nice if you have another Wisdom class. That's true. Oh yeah, you can double Wisdom with a Ranger easy too. That's good. You ran into endurance issues leveling Ranger. That's the same. Coercer, that's everything. I was leveling with +6 Aldrin and Woo's Fists. And when I went into offensive stance, my endurance got deleted instantly because I'm hitting for like 320 or something. That's just what happens. Like when you have Giga gear at level 10, you just delete your endurance. At least a 7 for leveling. At least a 7, huh? What were other people? I mean, a ranger being the same as a necro for leveling sounds kind of legit. Worse than a monk, yeah, that makes sense. Worse than a mage, yep. Obviously worse than an enchanter. Better than a druid, I agree with that. Yeah, maybe a 7's fine. Maybe a 7 is fine. Rangers are pretty good for leveling. If you're not, like, trolling yourself and using shitty bows, like I was. Because using a bow and casting in between is the most efficient use of mana. That's true. That's true. If you have a good bow, and you have a mage or a wizard or something like that with the ranger, that is some fast leveling. You are going to Giga Blast everything. Because the bow really efficiently utilizes the nukes between the bow, right? It's really good. There's no good bows until... Oh, that's true, but you're going to level more than once, Coercer. Leveling isn't the first time. It's every time. Because you're going to level, like, what, 14 times or something, probably? Maybe? And once you get the Windstriker... and then you're a mage or a wizard at the same time, or even like a necro or something, man, you are gonna... Oh, you're gonna delete stuff so fast. The Crushbone one can be decent with +5-ish, yeah. Depends if you're talking first trio. I mean, it's everything, though. I mean, if we were talking only first trio, then Wizard is like a 10, a Mage is a 9, and everybody else is like a 3, right? Because the first time through, you suck. But Wizards and Mages are crazy the first time through, right? We're talking about in general. Or however you want to talk about it. It doesn't really matter. You can do Raincaller. Are you really going to do Raincaller? I looked that up the other day, Goth. Are you really going to do that quest? Because I'm not. We investigated that whole bow thing. I don't think you're doing that. Can't you build macros to change stance when you press an attack? I think you can, Twerk. You did it at 37. What is the Raincaller? Was my crafted one better than Raincaller? 2045. And at 37, my crafted one was... It wasn't the 2541 yet, right? It was worse than that. It's probably comparable. I think it's a little better than what I was using at 37. Yeah, you're not gonna... Yeah, for a hard to... Gambit's like, it's not... Gambit's gonna hard pass on that. I don't think you're gonna do it. I think you're just gonna melee weapon it. I don't think you're gonna go do those quests. Because, like, here's the thing, right? You're not going to want to go do those quests the first time. And then the second time through, you're going to have so much better weapons that you're once again not going to want to do the quest. That's what I think. They released a roadmap. Yeah, we saw it, Doug. We saw it. Somebody posted it in my Discord and we looked at the picture real quick. It's the same thing as the defensive one I told you about for Divine Channelers. Macro uninterrupted. Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool then. All right, so bossing with a ranger. What do you guys think with the bossing with a ranger? Like, maybe like a 6? Like, it's kind of passable as a tank, but you don't get defensive. You don't get Mage Hunter as a ranger either, right? You only have evasive, which kind of sucks, but your defense is not that bad. And you do have some heals. And if they're not immune to fire, the fire nukes are probably still pretty good. And you do a lot of damage. It was posted on Facebook, trying to find the source. Oh, fletching. I did fletching too as a solo self-found. It was interesting. Yeah, you're right though, Huggin, with the crafting bows, it made it really enjoyable when you make a new bow and then you start blasting. Damage good, defense are fine. Isn't the 30% strike through massive from Ranger? Yeah, it is, Venus. It is massive. Can it be higher than a 6 though? I feel like it can't be better than a Necro for bossing, right? It's obviously worse than a Paladin. I think it's worse than a Monk too. It's better than a Mage, that makes sense. Worse than an Enchanter, that makes sense. I don't know, 6 sounds kind of good to me. The roadmap picture is on Reddit. Oh, okay. How about quality of life? So you get Invis, you get Sneak, you get Spirit of Wolf. I think you get Enduring Breath at some point. You get Pacify eventually. You get Root. You can CC stuff with Root if you want to. It's like a crappy CC. I mean, Spirit of Wolf, but so Paladin gets the movement. It's probably like the same as a Paladin, but maybe a little better. Invis versus IVU, but it gets Harmony and Paladin. Oh, Paladin gets Pacify too. Maybe it's the same as a Paladin. Maybe it's like the same as a Paladin, but slightly different. Think the Ranger self-sustain is worse than a lot of stuff, so 6 seems fine, yeah. Okay. I think I'm good with Ranger here. So where do we put it? It's going to be B tier somewhere, right? Is it the top of B or low A? 6 sounds good. A little better, Paladin because of movement. I mean, Paladin gets the mount AA, though. So 10, you get so many veggies from Forage. I feel like I'd put it like somewhere in here. Is it better than Berserker? I don't know. These both have fundamental issues. These both have, I think maybe right there. I'm torn between Berserker and Ranger, to be honest. Like there's like Berserkers, I don't know, they both have really high ceiling. Maybe we'll put Ranger a little better. Because it's easier to make it good. And you can just ignore a range stance if you want to, right? You can't really ignore a Berserker stance. Yeah. You can't ignore Berserker stance, but you can't ignore range being bad. They probably go super crazy when you get geared, yeah. When you leave Zerg stance, you drop down to 2 classes, not a trio. Yeah, I agree, Twerk. That is the main problem with Berserker. New feature reincarnation. Yeah, it's got to be a prestige system, Doug. It's got to be, right? Ranger may end up being sleeper once you max that Skybow and arrows. Yeah, maybe. It is going to hit really hard, at the very least. Zerg starting over Ranger would be rough. Yeah, I wouldn't want to start as Berserker, I don't think. I mean, Zerg Paladin would probably be okay for starting. Like, Zerg Paladin Enchanter would probably be a good start, right? I think Zerg Paladin Enchanter would be a good start. It wouldn't be the best start, probably, but it's pretty good. Make Zerg stance an AA? What do you mean? Like an activated thing? Boy, that'd be kind of OP, wouldn't it? Would they be the best class in the game if they did that? Alright. Guys, I will be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Oh yeah, Disrupting Shot. Dude, we didn't talk about that. How many of you guys have used Disrupting Shot? Because Disrupting Shot is super good. Like, legit. Legit disrupting shot is super good. I loved it. I thought it'd be crap. And then I started using it, and I was like, wait a second, this thing's baller. If you had a bow slash arrow range and macro the interrupt to range stance, you could effectively use it as... Do you have to go into range stance? I don't think you have to go into range stance to use it, do you? That'd be terrible. It's so good and works like every shot. Yeah, I think it has a 100% success chance. That's what it seems like. Yeah, I didn't think it needed range stance. That'd be kind of... It'd be garbage if it needed range stance. It would go from awesome to garbage really quickly. All right, next we're doing Rogue. I don't really have a strong feeling on Rogue, so I'm probably going to do what you guys say with Rogue. What's the offense for Rogue, guys? What's the offense? It's got to be lower than Ranger, right? It's not 100%? Okay. It seemed like it was 100% to me. I don't think I've ever had it miss, so maybe it was just confirmation bias because I liked it so much. Poisons are pretty dang good. Do you think so, Jay? You know, the problem I have with poisons is that they don't scale. So, like, they're, like, cool at the beginning, and then eventually they're going to be dookie, right? You had it fail, like, twice. Okay. Oh, it scales with archery skill. Really interesting. I mean, it has to be lower than a ranger, right? Like, maybe a 7? Maybe a 7. It's got to be worse than monk and ranger, I think. Just because of the, like... Monks have the Giga weapons. Rogue does have a pretty good weapon, to be fair. Rogue has a pretty good weapon from Sky. It's not as good as the monk weapon, but it's probably the best one-hand. It's probably the third best one-hander. I think it's a 12-19. It's quite good. You get a 10 BS weapon in Befallen. That's true. You do get a high BS weapon right away. That's like basically guaranteed. Backstab. Yeah, honestly, I think Backstab. I think people think Backstab is better than it is. It's fine. But it does miss a lot. It has a long cooldown. But you do get to double and triple backstab from the get-go on this. And obviously you can front stab, which is quite good. Alright, I'm going to go with 7. Unless somebody thinks it should be higher or lower and they give an argument. Defense for Rogue. Like a 3? They have a slow that's not reliable and isn't that good. But it is something. And then they heal a little bit with poisons. That's it, right? Their defense is pretty poor. Rogue Enchanter's ultimate boss sniper. You think so? I mean, boss sniper. Yeah, Rogue does that's true. The Shroud of Stealth is quite convenient. You know when Shroud of Stealth would be better? Is when Sneak doesn't make you slower, which I'm pretty sure happens at 51. Depends on the new AA. Poisons could be pretty crazy. That's true, Crusade. Wait, you're right. I forgot about that. Wait, Rogue might be like an 8. Wait. You're right. It's an 8. I forgot about that. You're right. Rogue is better than that. Because if you put a Rogue with a Shaman, the poison dots are going to be nuts, right? Hey, thanks for the follow, Honky. Any chance you'll post this document to your Discord? I could do that. I could just stick this in there when I'm done as a text. Thanks for hanging out, Dr. Pro. We'll see you again next time. I had a Ranger Rogue SK on THJ. Okay, well that doesn't really mean anything here though, Steve. But yeah, sneaking to the boss. You can also just charge through to the boss with Monk, so I don't know. It could be a thing, especially once you're 51 and Sneak doesn't slow you anymore. They gave Rogue big free upgrades and announcements. Was there anything other than the poison thing? You could also AA escape. That's true. That's not garbage anymore, right? The Unbound Lethal AA, new autograded class A for Rogue give... Yeah, the poison thing. That's why I just changed it to 8, Jay. For offense. Because it's going to make E-Bolt potentially insanely good, right? It could make E-Bolt absolutely cracked. Like, maybe Rogue, Necro, Shaman will be, like, the most disgusting group DPS ever because of that. Maybe. Can always pair with Bard and run fast sneaking. That's true. Yeah, we saw him, Brandon. We saw him yesterday, I think, while we were playing Grim Dawn. Somebody mentioned it, and we immediately stopped what we were doing and looked at him. All right, recoup for Rogue is like a 2. They do something, but it's almost nothing, right? Any arguments there? They do something, but it's almost nothing. 1 only has the blood siphon. I guess we did do a 0 before. Hey Jay, thanks for the gifted subs. Hey, congrats on the subs, everybody. All right, I think so. You want a 1 because it's almost nothing. I'm kind of with you. It's basically nothing. They don't have much, yeah. Thanks for the follow, Dwarfman and One Crazy. On its own, fairly mid, yeah. Okay, so we'll go with a 1. So leveling with a rogue. I feel like they're not that good for leveling either. Like the backstab. So if you level with backstab with a Berserker, it's pretty good, right? And if you level with a rogue and like the rest of your comp is a caster comp, then Striker could do damage, but it deletes your endurance. My instinct is to say like 3 for leveling. I don't feel like it's that good. With a 2-hander, that's not a thing, Kyle. There's no backstab modifier on any 2-handers that are spears or otherwise. It's just not a thing. That's not a thing. Thanks for the follows, guys. You're gonna do Monk, Cleric, Enchanter. Yeah, that would be pretty good. I mean, you're not gonna die with that combo, that's for sure. Cleric, Enchanter with Monk. Can put Dagger in any slot. You can do that. Yeah, but you can't... Crusade, it's not a thing right now. Yeah, it's a Vele's weapon. It has to have a backstab mod on this game, too. I don't know if you guys have seen somebody test it, but I saw Nighttime Adventurer test backstabbing with Garduk, which is a one-handed piercer, and it was trash. And it's like a 23 damage piercer. If it doesn't have a backstab mod, I don't know how the math works out, but it needs a backstab mod, or it's trash. That's how the server works currently. Stretch. That's a good idea. You guys ever do stretches? Oh, just like randomly. Nighttime test was your legit. Yeah. I mean, nighttime testing is always legit, right? It needs a mod. Otherwise, it's just garbage. Pets will backstab no matter what. They just backstab. The backstab mod doesn't do anything. I tested that with a water pet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they have on them. It doesn't change anything. At least when I was doing it. I didn't do like exhaustive testing or anything, but best game for an alcoholic? Oh, it definitely is. Okay, so bossing with a rogue. I don't know, like a 4? Maybe like a 4? Like they're gonna do good damage. The poisons are something, but they just don't like... They don't bring anything game-breaking. Rogue is 10 with a mage. Backstab sandwich. A 5? You think a 5? I could be convinced of a 5. I could be convinced of a 5. Oh yeah, because of the poison thing again, right? The offense thing. That's right. The poison offense thing. It's gonna put him over the top. I'm telling you. E-Bolt with that poison thing is gonna be... It's gonna be legit, I think. Poisons bring slow. Yeah, the slows are... The rogue slows they exist. They exist. They're just not very good and not very reliable. Other poisons are beneficial, just the slow percent sucks, yeah. They have to be sandwiched to be good between 2 good classes, yeah. That's true. That's true, they do, Jay. Alright, I think 5 is fine then. Rogues are at 10, quality of life for corpse retrieval. Oh, wait. Yeah, make sure and have a rogue in your group so you can get your corpses back, guys. Okay, so they do have hide and sneak, but I'm gonna be honest. I think hide and sneak is not very good because you're slow, and I hate that. It's convenient, but it's slow, and I don't like that. Free gold from Pickpocket. Okay. I guess I'll give them a half a point for that, sort of. And then but they can be invis. I'll give them like a 2. I think give them like a 2. The poison debuffs was decent. 10 for sneak to get spells in Icky Town. Feign Death is better than Hide. Oh, it definitely is. Oh, it definitely is, Apocalypse. It's not. I don't think it's even close. Now, when we're 51 and you run at normal speed in Hide and Sneak, it's gonna be really good. Hide and Sneak is gonna be a lot better because when you go Bard speed while invisible to everything, right? That's good. That'll be good. But for now, it's in Chardok, something like Chardok, Neospring, because Chardok's a really long dungeon, right? Picklock, is that even a thing? Can you picklock in Befallen? And does that even, I don't know, I mean, I guess you can not get the keys, but does that really matter? Does it matter? Like, okay, we can give him a 3 for picklock and buying spells faster. That's something. It's something. It is something. Picklock is a thing. All right, we'll give him a 3. You can picklock in Befallen. You can level it in Befallen, right? Okay, that makes sense. Can't live without sense traps. Every time I tried it, says this lock can not be picked. Oh, maybe those keys don't work in Najina. Maybe it's only Befallen. That's interesting. Could matter for Crypt and Seb. Oh, that's true, Elcry. I don't think it will, though. There's going to be a way to open that. They're not going to require people to be a rogue to get in there. Like, I just don't see that happening. Maybe at the beginning it will be until they fix it or something. Maybe they'll just, like, add a mob that drops a key. I think they will. Same with Chardok, though, right? You have to picklock to get into the Chardok room with the royals. Picklock is good in theory at some point. Yeah, Chardok and Sebill's Crypt are legit if they don't change it. Need picklock for Howling Stones, make it so much easier. That's fair. That's fair. Drop a picklock set on the floor and see if it can't be picked. Bard gets picklock as well. Do they get it high enough to do Chardok door? I don't really know what the numbers are. Alright. Let's put the rogue somewhere. I feel like it's like in here with the mage. What do you guys think? I think it's in here. Maybe it's better than Berserker? I don't know. It's in here somewhere. It's like, is it better than Mage and Berserker or is it worse? That's the question, because it's definitely not A. Unless we see somebody critting for 3,000 with poisons because it's bugged or something. Under Mage? Okay, so it's there. Okay, I think that's fine. Shadowknight. Let's do Shadowknight. This is going to be pretty similar to Paladin, but slightly worse, right? It's basically Paladin, but slightly worse. So, offense of a Shadowknight is higher than a Paladin. It has worse weapons. It doesn't have Slay Undead, but it has Harm Touch. Harm Touch just got a lot better. Harm Touch just got a lot better, boys. Harm Touch heals you now for probably a crap ton. But that's a recuperation thing, not an offense thing. I guess it's sort of an offense thing, sort of. High A, low S, assuming the new A's, yeah. Played Paladin, SK Warrior 15, SK was the most underwhelming by a mile. Yeah, that's a weird combo. I feel like Paladin, SK, Berserker would have been a lot better, Kyle. Yeah, you take the Leech Touch AA and it makes your Harm Touch a tap. And it also has a dot component now with the change they did. So it's more like live Harm Touch, because that's how live Harm Touch is, I think, right? 8 offense, Reeve is very good. It can't be higher than Paladin, can it? Or that much higher, like a 7? You think it's 2 points better than Paladin? Because of the weapon. I mean, to be fair, the Shadowknight does have 2 very good high-end weapon options. They have the Scythe Blood Moon thing from the Ghoul mini, which is worse than Aldrin, but it's still pretty good. And their 2-hander from Sky is actually quite good. The way it's worded, the new AA might work on Necro taps, so I hope it doesn't. Wait, the new AA... Oh, you mean for like 6% better taps? Yeah, it might. It might, Outcry. That's true. Harm Touch now is a dot, yeah. And the dot is affected by the crit AAs. Oh! Oh! Whoa, that's a thing I didn't think about. Wait. Maybe they are an 8. 74 damage for the 2-handers, no joke. The SK Sky Weapon. Yeah, the SK Sky Weapon is quite good. It's worse than the Berserker one, but it's still good. Yeah, that's a... Augen said something about the dot. The Harm Touch dot, if you pair it with like a Shaman, might crit for a lot, right? Because it's a dot. SK Neck. I mean, SK Neck Shaman sounding kind of pretty good right now, right? SK Necro Shaman sounding pretty good, boys. SK Rogue. Oh, that's true. You could also do SK Rogue Necro. You could do SK Rogue Necro. We wouldn't have any good slows. That'd be kind of rough. But if the Harm Touch dot doesn't do 3 times the damage of the Harm Touch, it's going to be trash. That's true, Kyle. So we don't really know. Let's do this. Let's say 7. So it's slightly higher than Paladin with an asterisk. Because it's like... We don't know. We don't know how good the Harm Touch dot is, right? We don't know. Yeah. Alright, defense. The defense is the same as a Paladin, right? It's literally the same as a Paladin. They're identical. There's not much to think about. It's basically the same thing. Paladin gets Cleric buffs. Shadowknight doesn't. So that's something. Does Shadowknight get any buffs that would compare with the Paladin Cleric line spells for defense? Like, I know they get some self buffs, but I feel like they're not really comparable to Paladin buffs. They steal stats. That's true, they steal strength and stuff, right? AC tap strength stealing, not really. So maybe they're weaker than a Paladin. Maybe their defense is slightly weaker than a Paladin. Because they'll just have less hit points in an AC, maybe. They have that reduced healing spell. That's true. They do have that. They get some resist. Okay. Do they get the heal cut? Elcry, somebody in Twitch is saying they do. SK makes up for the health buffs with steal strength and takes HP. But that's just not that's recuperation for taking HP, right? Not defense. Cold disease resist. Reave is better than smite. I don't agree with that. I mean, for damage it is, but overall I don't agree with that, Jay. Because smite makes lay on hands cracked, and lay on hands is disgusting. All right, I think they're a little weaker defensively. All right, how about recuperation? It can't be that high, right? It's better than a rogue, obviously, but is it better than a ranger? If you triple hit with it, it's killed 9% of your life. That's true, it does. Vamp touch and AoE proc heal. Yeah, they have vamp touch and taps. So it's better. Is it better than a ranger with heals? So like a 5? Is it that good? Is it really that good? I don't know. I feel like it's the same as ranger. 5 is pretty high. Like, what else is 5? Do we have any other 5s? Monk is 6. Mend is better than life taps, I think. Mage doesn't count. Enchanter 6 because of the mana regen. Druid is 6. So maybe a 5 is fine. It's the same as Ranger sustain side, yeah. But then it also does damage and some of it's automatic. Okay, we'll give it a 5. We can keep it at 5. The taps can also crit and scale from damage done. That's true. That's true. We'll say, okay, we'll do that. So it's the same as Ranger, but the fact that it does damage at the same time kind of makes it a little better. SK has cooler armor. Paladin doesn't have a pet to taunt off you. I don't think that the SK pet exists in my mind. Do you guys think that the SK pet is like a factor at all? Like, does the upgrade system make the SK pet like a thing? SK doesn't have a pet. Okay, so that's Kyle's opinion. They don't have a pet. Okay. Okay, so it's a non-factor. Okay. So leveling with a Shadowknight. I feel like leveling with a Shadowknight's pretty okay. It's not as good as Paladin leveling for damn sure. Because you don't get Pacify. Lay on Hands is better for leveling. You don't get Slay Undead. It's just worse, right? Like maybe like a 6. It gets both invises, doesn't it? That's good for leveling, having both invises. They don't even get the +1 item slot for pets anymore? Oh, I don't think they ever did. I think that was something people made up because they wanted SK pets to not be dog water. What SK pet, says Steve. Yeah. Gather Shadows and IVU. Okay, that's good for leveling. I think it's 6. Feign. They get Feign. Feign's good for leveling. And then the taps. They get good weapons. They have good defense. They're kind of like a healer, but worse than Paladins at it. Paladins are 9 at leveling, though, because they're crazy. Are they maybe a 7 for leveling? They're pretty good at leveling. What's a ranger? A ranger's 7. They're about the same as a ranger for leveling, aren't they? I think they're about the same as a ranger for leveling. They don't get pacify. That's like their main thing that a ranger would have, or a paladin that really just kind of crushes SK pretty handily. Because pacify is really good for leveling. They were pretty good, just worse than other options. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. So how about bossing for Shadowknight? I don't really know how I feel about Shadowknights for bossing anymore. Like a 7 or an 8 is my instinct, but I don't really know. What does everybody else think? We kind of don't know because we don't know exactly how good the harm touch is, but they're definitely better than they were a few days ago. A 7 or 8. Anybody else want to weigh in on 7 or 8 for SK? My instinct is to say 7. Just because I really do think that Paladin lay on hands is just that much better, but the harm touch, a 6. We'll say that. I think we're going to say this. We're going to say 7. Harm touch. Harm touch slash Shaman canny bug. Because if the canny bug thing, which shouldn't be intended, is never fixed, then I would put an 8 here. But I have to assume that the canny bug will be fixed by the time live launches. What do you guys think? There's no way they leave it, right? There's no way they leave it. It's got to be gone. It's got to be gone. Although with harm touch being the way it is, it matters a little less, because now maybe harm touch is actually really good. Maybe it's like better than mend now, who knows? Canny bug, yeah, so Reeve is supposed to reduce the cooldown on harm touch, but currently it also reduces the cooldown on cannibalize, which is super broken. And then I had somebody tell me that when you use harm touch or cannibalize, they both go on cooldown. So there's like some sort of back end conflict with like the skill IDs or something. I don't think any of the 3 tanks can be lower than a 7. That's fair. That's a fair point, Outcry. Like in a vacuum, if you're a tank, you're at least a 7, right? Because you just make bosses easier. They both share a cooldown, yeah. You never use harm touch because you always use canny, yeah. Harm touch could be great. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as 7 with an asterisk for harm touch, yeah? Quality of life. You get both invises. You get feign death. And that's it, right? 4. Both invises plus feign death. Better than a rogue, because you don't have to go slow. And rogue doesn't get feign death. Well, they kind of get feign death. So it's a little better than rogue, but not much. Horse. Oh, horse. They get the horse. You're right. I forgot about that with Paladin, too. Is it better with quality of life than Paladin, though? Maybe it's only 5. Maybe it's like the same. Paladin don't get both invises. Paladin doesn't get both invises. SK does. It's called Spaghetti Code. Yeah, definitely. Circlet of Shadows plus Feign Death is the best thing in the game for quality. Oh, that's true, but we're not playing Kunark yet. But I agree with you. That statement holds very true. Circlet of Shadows with Feign Death is disgusting. That is so good. SK is A tier, at least without real numbers on updates. Could push to S, but not till then. Yeah, I think I agree with your thought, Gambit. You think that SKHT is purposely being equalized with Pally lay on hands? Yeah, I mean it should be. Without the harm touch update, lay on hands slaughtered harm touch. It was not close, right? Now maybe it's close. Pre-nerf circlet. Well, we're gonna get pre-nerf because we got pre-nerf of everything else, so we should make the assumption we're gonna get pre-nerf. Secret was in Discord just now answering a few Karen questions. All right, Twerk, you wanna lay us down with the Karen info? I'd be interested. I'm not gonna play one, but I'm still interested. All right, let's rank SK. It's high A, right? Like maybe in here. Where is it? Is it better than a bard? Probably. I think maybe here. I don't know. Necro's really good. But being a tank. But Necro's really good. It's the same as Necro Bard. Behind Monk better than Bard. Necro's better. No score over 7. Yeah, that's true. It's just like kind of okay at everything, right? Necro's better. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll leave it here. I think that's defense and mage hand just done equals SK better. That's a good argument, Coercer. Defensive and Mage Hunter are both quite good. I think maybe they're close enough where I just don't know. Also, in this version of the game, you can sneak hide while in feign death. Oh, that's true. That's kind of... I didn't think about that. List of Karen primary classes. Bard, of course. People would riot if you couldn't be a Bard Karen. Berserker, that makes sense. Beastlord, Druid, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior. Those all make sense to me. No cat clerics, huh? No kitty clerics. That's kind of surprising to me. Couldn't Vashir be clerics? And they start on Kara Isle. Well, I would hope so. I would hope so. It's better than Necro if it's your primary without any other tank. That's true. That's... man. Dang. I know the tank thing. They're a tank. I'm gonna leave them there. The tank wins it for me. All right, let's go on to the next thing. We can just put this on its own tier, right? Druid warrior and no ranger. No ranger for a cat person is kind of weird too. No Vashir. They were Shaw/Beast. Okay. All right, Shaman. So Shaman offense is like a 10, right? Is there any reason a Shaman offense shouldn't be 10? Because this is like the class that I think is arguably like an S+ tier class, right? And I think its offense, I think, is a 10 instead of a 9 like Enchanter, because like you're always going to do its offense. Odium, E-Bolt, and Puma are disgusting. Right? Odium, E-Bolt, and Puma together are so much good. Yeah, who has better offense? Yeah, I agree. Okay, we'll just, that's it. It's 10. Defense. 9, because it's not a tank. What do you think? It's not a tank, so it can't be a 10. I don't think anybody could be a 10 for defense, because you'd have to be able to slow. You'd have to be able to slow. Oh, Enchanter is 10 for defense. I guess Shaman has to be 10. Is it, though? Maybe an Enchanter is actually better for defense because of AoE Mez. Because AoE, we encountered Mez and AoE Mez, and Enchanters get 3 cripples, where Shaman gets 1. That's why Enchanter is a 10. Because it has the leveling, the most broken leveling defense of all time. Slow is the best heal. Its CC isn't incapacitating, yeah. I think I'm okay with 9 for defense on Shaman, honestly. Like, if you're talking about only a boss, then it's a 10. But on trash and stuff, its defense is not that good, right? Yeah. AoE Mez is silly. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with that. Recuperation. It's gotta be lower. It's gotta be lower than like the highest, right? It's the third best healer, but it does give you endurance regen. So it's probably at least even with Paladin. No, it's probably about even with Paladin. It doesn't have lay on hands, but then its heals are like the same, but it also gives you endurance regen. So like an 8? Canny. Oh, you're right. F. It has Canny. I'm stupid. It has heals, mana regen. It has all of them. Is it just a 10? Maybe it's just a 10. Because it's really strong at all 3 things. Yeah, it's a 10. It's a 10 at recuperation. It's the only one with everything. The hots are insane. I haven't tried the hot siphon. If Shaman AoE slow fell below level 50, it'd be like a 12. What? Dude, if you could AoE slow while leveling, oh my goodness, that'd be so disgusting. Canny AA, Divine Nuke could heal, problem solve. Yeah, I think it's a 10, guys. I think it's a 10. All right, leveling. I think it's actually really bad at leveling. Fight me on this. I don't think it's good at leveling. It's your healer, but it's worse than Paladin at healing. You're not going to slow all that frequently. Dots often get overridden by just nuking faster, and the stat buffs are pretty garbage until you're like level 35 plus at least. It's not that good at leveling. Torpor is insanely strong on P99, yeah, but this is not P99, Zyphon. You would never use Torpor in its version, I don't think. Here, I guess if you're doing only dot damage, maybe you would, but First 40 levels are mid for Shaman, yeah. Once you get Canny, though, Shamans get much better at leveling. I experienced that firsthand a few days ago. Until 43 plus. I mean, they get haste before 43, right? It's not a great haste, but it's still haste. And they have heals. They can be your healer, right? If you're playing like a warrior, like if you're warrior rogue shaman, then you're pretty glad that your shaman has healing spells, right? Venom carried you hard. I mean, I still think that the Venom line while leveling is not that good unless you're fighting a named. I mean, if you have no class that nukes at all, then Venom would see more value. Because then you wouldn't, like, spam nukes to blast them really fast. Upgraded dot spell is easy leveling. So you think at 34 you upgrade Venom to, like, +6 and it just, like, it just crushes everything? I could see that. The new heal times are the new torpor, yeah, that's true. They are the new torpor, that's true. You'll fight me on leveling. Paladin Monk Shaman has 27 hour to 50 by spamming Shaman nuke with inversion. Well, yeah, but there are better nukes than that. I am confident that Paladin Monk Enchanter levels faster than Paladin Monk Shaman. Like, by a lot. It's like, I don't think it's even close. The AoE dots are pretty mediocre. Wait, AoE dots? When do shamans get AoE dots? I don't think that's a thing right now. There's only bards for AoE dots, right? Or are you talking about just spreading them on a bunch of stuff? Bring 0 things that someone else doesn't do way better. Yeah. The minus movement hot is decent for keeping downtime minimal. Pull a bunch hot yourself, maybe single target dot all. Yeah, maybe. Shaman, honestly, I agree with that, Brandos, but not for leveling. I think I agree with you. Shaman is probably the best class, but just not for leveling. Okay, so we went on bossing. What did we put for Enchanter for bossing? Did we put 10? We only put 8. Oh, with an asterisk because of charm. Is it a 9 or a 10? Is it a 9 or a 10 for bossing? It's literally the best thing for bossing. It's true, it is. It is. It is. It's the best. It's the why because the offense is 10. That's the reason, right? It's got the best slow. It has good enough heals. It has mana regen also. And then it does all the damage. Puma slow incap. Yeah, it's a 10. 60%. It's not 60% at the level we are, but yeah. I forget what the math was. It's not 60% right now. Because it scales between like 43 and 60. So we're like at the midpoint of whatever its range is. Quality of life. So it gets Invis. It has Spirit of Wolf. It gets EB. And that's it, right? Best dot? It has two. It's the 2 best dots, Brandos. Odium and Ebold are both disgusting. Yeah, non-lull. It doesn't have Pacify, which is one of its main downfalls is no Pacify. It's kind of unfortunate. Quality of life's probably like the same as a Ranger. It's probably like the same as a Ranger, right? Oh, it doesn't have Harmony. It's got to be worse than a Ranger. It's got to be worse than a Ranger. It doesn't have Sneak or Harmony. No real CC, yeah. I mean, you can root CC if you want. You can root CC. That is a thing. I don't think most people will, but you can. Like, if you're fighting, like, say the Baron plus his guy there, if you don't have Harmony, and you just root the other guy and pull the Baron, it's pretty legit. I did it with the Ranger. It's legit. Slow as your CC, yeah. No, but roots for you don't hit the root, right? You root them and ignore them. You don't root them and start hitting them, right? Because root will last almost the whole time, almost all the time if you don't hit it. Root seems rather trash on it. Yeah, it's not as good as it normally is, but it is ghetto CC. It's ghetto CC. It's something. Since everyone can do alchemy, it doesn't get that either. That's right. Okay, dude, if it was the only one that got alchemy still, this would be a much higher number. Both of these would be a much higher number if it was the only alchemist. You have a pet. Your pet slows also. That's true, you do have a pet. But that's leveling, right? I don't know. So, okay. I think we all kind of know how we feel about Shaman. It's the best, right? Some people argued that Enchanter's better. And I'm torn. Because, like, if you like leveling a lot, then I would do this. Like, if you're churning out leveling and you're playing Enchanter every time, then I think it's like this. But if you're only concerned with endgame, then it's like this, right? Pet does about 70 DPS. With Puma, that's pretty nuts. It's pretty good. Chloroform for stamina and life type mana, yeah. It's a little bit in its niche for killing hard things. I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I think I'm going to put Enchanter at the top. Just because I think we're going to be doing a lot of leveling, at least in Classic, because you want to get efficient AAs, you want to level all the characters up to 50 so you have them ready for Kunark, for like maybe something will get better. And Enchanter is just so much better at leveling that it's like a huge order of magnitude, right, between Enchanter and Shaman for leveling. So I'm going to put Enchanter as above it for that reason. They don't heal, that's true. I still think they're better in my mind. It's debatable, right? It just depends what you want. This is a debatable thing. This is debatable. All right, so now we're on to Warrior. I don't really have any strong feelings on Warrior either, because I haven't played one, but I do want to play a Warrior with the double dot thing, because I think it's going to be really good. Hey, thanks for the follow, Elcry. Enchanter is your favorite class, so you ain't mad, but Shaman is more well-rounded. Actually, I disagree with you, Brandos. I think Enchanter is more well-rounded. Shaman is just, like, more extreme at the things that it's the best at. Which is killing bosses. Killing hard bosses. You can level and boss with Enchanter, but Shaman you can only boss. You need a second solid character to level with. Yeah, leveling with just... That's true. Leveling with just an Enchanter would be pretty painful. Or leveling with just a Shaman would probably be more painful. I mean, box checking. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. I get what you're saying. I think Enchanter Charm is crazy. Alright, Warrior. The offense of a Warrior is pretty bad. What do you guys think? Their weapon options are not good at the end. Alfengal's okay. They do get Flurry with crit. Okay, I'm talking myself up a bit. If you use a Fangal, they get crit and Flurry. They're pretty okay. They don't haste themselves, though. They don't have procs. Cleave is pretty good while leveling. But they still have they have Fangal. That's their best weapon if you're just trying to kill stuff, right? Which is pretty good. HP regen, yeah, they have HP. Cleave is impactful for anything that's not boss fights, right, I agree. We're gonna need some help with offense DPS. They just need better weapons. Like, why is Dagas such a pile of trash compared to Monk and Paladin one-handers? It's 1121, it's terrible compared to the Monk weapon. Gives you a lot of AC. HP regen is pretty nuts. Okay, so defense of the Warrior is a 10, right? I don't think there's any argument. Like, I don't think there's anything to talk about here. They're a 10 for defense. They get everything. The only person that, like, outshines them in defense by a tiny bit is Monk skill caps for block and dodge. That's it. Everything else, Warrior's just the best defense. There's not really a lot to talk about there, right? All right, recuperation. Warrior gives you, you know, it gives you more healing than rogues. It heals you more than a rogue. But not till level 30. They don't heal you, like, at all. And then they heal you more than a rogue. So, a 2? A 2, maybe. They're like rogue. Top tier only if you have the right partner with it. Yeah. I agree with you, Brandos. The regen is no joke with unyielding. That's true. But you have to be level 30 first, so okay, maybe it is a 3. Maybe it's that strong. When you have 8k HP later on, 800 HP a tick is pretty good. Or 800 HP a minute is pretty good. 800 HP a minute is definitely pretty good. Okay. Yeah, it's gear dependent. Yeah, it is. That reincarnation sounds so much like the prestige system, TSJ, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much... Wait, did they have a description for the reincarnation system? Did Secrets, like, say, like, a big blurb about it or something? I'd be interested in that. I don't know what I'd use it for. I guess I have to know what it does. Then double it for the unyielding. Yeah, if you're just, like, blasting, like, if you're just, like, Berserker Monk Warrior, Berserker Monk Warrior, and you're just healing through Warrior Regen and Mend. I would do that. Reincarnation takes your 3 current classes and your current race down to level 1. Down to level 1. Interesting. The level 1, I would like to point out the level 1 thing because of AA things. Okay, that's important. And makes the stat hard caps into hard caps on the first go about. Wait, what? It makes the stat hard caps. I don't understand what that means. Do you guys understand what that stat thing means? I don't understand what that means. Then each subsequent one will increase the caps further. Okay, I get that. Wait, so are you going to increase your stat caps? Is Prestige System going to be something where you increase stat caps? Because that's crazy if true. That's like infinite Omega Korean grinding style game, if that's a thing. First reincarnate, you have standard stat caps, and then after it increases the soft caps. I mean, but what soft caps? Aren't the stat caps hard caps? Oh, but they're soft cap. Oh! So they're gonna become soft caps. And is just the stat cap for that trio? That's a good question, Zane. Which one is it? XR regen and troll regen the same? I think they're slightly different, but there's that regen is so minimal, that bonus is so minimal in this game that it is not worth thinking about. Alright, leveling with a warrior. What do we have for the melee? So SK is 7. It's probably about an SK, right? It's probably about an SK. Like, it's tankier, but it heals itself less. It doesn't have Feign Death. Maybe a 6. It doesn't have Feign Death. And it doesn't have, like, on-demand tapping. But it's just like it's just a giant wall. Hey, thanks for the follow, Ono. It's better than an SK because you take 50% less damage easily. Okay. No utility, just good defense. You pair it with anything that makes sense. Okay, okay, I'm sold. You're right. I'm sold. I'm sold. 7's fine. We'll make it the same as an SK. Bossing. Is it like an 8 for bossing? Like an 8, maybe? I mean, how much damage do you take as a warrior when you have, like, plus 10 in Dicolite armor? Like 0? Like 0 damage? 0 damage taken? Like, you can sit in Berserker stance the whole time? Like, and you don't even flinch? Like, if you're Berserker Warrior Shaman, do you just, like, not take any damage ever? Eye of Ishan was hitting you for 50. Well, I mean, the hit of Eye of Ishan, that's not a good example, Kyle. Because Eye of Ishan doesn't do damage through melee. It does it through the proc, right? Warrior has the highest crit chance? No, Berserker does, technically. Because Berserker... Wait, does Warrior get the same crit chance, AA? Hang on. I could be talking out my ass. Do they get the same crit AA? I think it's Berserker only. I think the 6% AA is Berserker only. Burrs. It is Berserker only. So, Berserker is a little higher. It's the best melee for bossing. I don't think so. I think Paladin is a little better. Because lay on hands is a thing. I think Paladin's better than Warrior overall. Just because you can do more with it. Because it can be your tank and your healer. It's not as tanky as a Warrior, obviously, but you can put it in more things and have it work well. We announced the weekly raid bonus too at the panel. The other way to get moats. Oh yeah, that thing. Oh, so wait, did they announce the mechanics of it? There's a weekly that will let you instantly bring an item from one rank to the next rank. So if you use it on a +9, it becomes a +10. So it's a weekly. So you might get that 5 times per raid per week? That would be nuts. I've seen parses that show warrior damage reduction is worth 2 times lay on hands across 20. Wow, really? Okay. So do we make it higher then? If we assume that that's true? 3 times a week. So you get 3 gigamotes a week. That's probably a reasonable number. if you're hyper geared, right? Because it scales with gearing, but you know, lay on hands scales with gearing too, though, right? So I don't know. Warrior does get 5% natural Fizz DR. Oh, okay. I kind of forgot about that, Avis, but that sounds right. If you're not super geared, that's not true. So do we put it back to an 8 for averages, or do we leave it at a 9? Warriors just shrug damage pretty nuts, yeah. It's true, 5% flat DR is insane mathematically, I agree with you. Alright. I don't really know. It's fine for averages. Yeah. Let's go with 8 for averages. Quality of life. 0. Nothing. Nothing. They do nothing, right? Which is fine. That's how warriors always been. They're just a 0 for quality of life. They literally give you nothing. Alright, so warrior, it's gotta be at least A. Warrior's gotta be at least A. I think it's better than a bard. I think it's low S. Top A. Maybe the same as a monk. You think it's not something you easily feel, but the parse will be night and day? Yeah. Yeah, that's true, I get. I think I agree with you. They don't die, that's worth a 1. They don't die, that's worth a 1. Alright, we give them a 1. We give them a 1 because they don't die. Is as strong as monk. So you gotta pick one. What would you... I think I take monk because of their weapons. I think I take monk over warrior because of the weapons. I think that's the main reason. You pick warrior over monk. I mean, I understand it either way. In classic, you take monk? Yeah. That's true. It's going to change. The formula is going to change a lot. You value taking a lot of damage. AoE taunt and leap. AoE taunt's not a thing to me, Shetarg. Like, this is... And the leap? Isn't that just for groups? I guess it's something for groups. You're so sad beast is so low. Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? They just don't do anything strong enough. They do way too much stuff at a below mediocre level all at once. War over monk if you don't have a tank. Defense / mage hunter. Well, warrior doesn't get mage hunter, right? Or does it? Mage hunter is it berserker warrior? Who else gets mage hunter? I don't even remember. Is it all the hybrids and berserker? I think it's only... Oh, is it only knights? Does berserker not get mage hunter? I thought they did. I thought they did get that. I could be wrong though. Mage hunter. It is berserker. Okay. That's good because this wasn't working. But they have mage hunter. That's okay. How did so much get moved up to B? What do you mean, Apocal? This is how it was, right? Definitely not doing a war. Okay, so all right, all we have left is wizard. All we have left is wizard, boys. I don't think it's as bad as Beastlord. Oh, we don't need this anymore. We don't need that anymore. We're done after this. Wiz. Offense. Like an 8? It's not as good as Shaman offense, I don't think, but it's pretty good. What is mage offense? They're kind of the same, right? Mage is a 7. Wizard gives you the spell crit, though, with like the necro taps. I think wizard's a little better. Do you think wizard offense is better than mage, guys? That's the question. A 10? No, it's not a 10. Wizard offense is not as good as shaman offense. At least I don't think so. Maybe on a D0 it is. On a D0, wizard's probably an 11. Wizard has better mana cost. Mage has pet. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wizard has higher nukes, but they have no pet. They crit 5k nukes. Yeah. Has anybody tried Wizard a lot on, like, the various D4 bosses? Because I definitely haven't. If you can kill it before you run out of mana, it's better. That's fair. Wizard DDs are very efficient. D4 resists aren't a problem with leveled spells. Yeah, that's true, Neo. As long as you know what nuke to use on the boss, right? Like, don't use fire nukes on Nagafin, like a dummy, right? Don't do that. I want the wizard to be good, but it's a C? No, it's not a C. It's not that bad. It's definitely not a C. It's definitely not a C. All right. I think I'm okay with A then. Defense. 1? Wait, what was mage defense? It's a little worse than mage for defense, right? It was a 4 because of the pet. So a 2 because you get the HP, AC, MR buff, which is cool. It's something. Ice Comet. I saw that, Neo. I saw that. I saw that video. That was pretty cool. I saw you crit. I saw the crit life tap for like 2,000. That was pretty nuts. Wizard is barely anything, just that one buff. Yeah. MR is kind of good though, isn't it? Same bracket as Druid. They're super strong for leveling, and I mean once you're uber geared, yeah. The MR, I don't know. I like the HPAC MR buff from casters. I think it's quite good, especially like when you get rooted all the time and stuff. Oh, they get some resist too, probably, right? They must get a MR buff, right? Maybe they still have to be worse than a mage, right? Because they don't have a pet. Well, 2's fine, I think. The skin spell 2 is fine. Okay, recuperation. They do have mana regen. They do have mana regen. I don't know how much it is. Is it like 6? I think that's all they have, right? Spellblade needs a little buff. Yes, I agree. That's true. If they buff Spellblade, Wizard gets an indirect, potentially an indirect buff. Potentially. Wiz offense is great, but base 5-second cast times suck. Yeah, you gotta go in inversion, right? Oh, Arcane Mastery to elite DPS? Yeah, that's true. Arcane Mastery instead. 6 fix some improved familiar, so it's not that much. So maybe it's only a 2. Maybe it's only a 2. What do you guys think? 2 or 3? It's empowering on a Wiz is good. Yeah, I mean a lot of stances. You can use a lot of the different invocations on Wizard, and it like there's also Harvest, but it's so bad. Okay, we'll go with 2 then. Leveling with a Wizard is like a 9, right? I think Wizards are baller for leveling. I think they're a 10. You think they're really that good? I think like they're kind of similar to a mage for leveling though, right? Like they have better nukes, but you don't get the pet. And they're already one above mage. I don't know. I don't know about a 10. It's really good for leveling to 25. You only need to go to 23 with a wizard, by the way, Zyphon. But you're right. It carries you the first time through. Was worth 2 tick. That is pretty bad. Level up the spells every 5 tiers to +5, and they 2-shot anything but named. Okay. Okay. I mean, but wouldn't a mage be the same way? Because, like, at what point do wizard nukes get better than mages? Like, substantially better, not like 20 damage better, right? All the way up to 50, you can delete reds. Mage DD drops in the 20s. I know the level 18 nuke of mage and wizard is basically exactly the same, which is kind of depressing, but they are basically the same. With enough spell upgrades, they can really own. But once again, mages also can do that. Mage Ds are inefficient. Okay, that's a good argument. Okay, so let's put. You guys seem to think it's baller. Let's put it at a 10. I can see it. If they're efficient, and you can just slam nukes way faster, it's fast, right? Big DDs that are efficient is the fastest way to level. I think it's faster than AoEing, personally. Ice Comet is 800 to 900 for a little more than 200 mana. That is, so when you upgrade that, it becomes like, so there is one nuke that's more efficient than that, and it's the Ranger Arrow, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it's the Mage Dot nuke. But the dot takes so long to do damage that it's not really worth considering. All right, how about for bossing? Maybe like a 5? Because like they kill it fast, but when you have low gear, it's not really going to work out all that well, right? Except for on D0, they're going to smoke D0s. But then when you get to like D3 and D4 and you don't have crazy gear or crazy high-leveled spells, they're going to be a lot worse. Maybe a 6? For like allowing for the fact that once you have crazy spells, they're going to be kind of disgusting probably. Wizard power is the AoE. 5k Ice Comets. Mana Burn? Mana Burn's not really that good, Jay. It's fun. But when a boss has 90,000 hit points, Mana Burn's not really that good. It's not very efficient, which is stupid, but it's not. The worst line of wizard nukes is the magic resist line because they cost like 50% more. Oh, that's unfortunate. Bard is better AoE than wizards. As of the close, better. Oh, once you're at high enough level, Darth, you need Denons, which is what, 43? But yeah, at 43, Bard's the best AoE, right? But before that, it's not so great. It's fine. It's something. Wizard AO on my Ranger, Wiz Necro. Was killing packs of yellow so fast I think it could be better if I replaced Necro with something? Wow. Well, I mean, we got it at a 10 for leveling. All right, so quality of life. You get invis and ports. Ports that don't nuke your mana. That's kind of whatever, right? You basically get invis. You basically only get invis, right? So it's like a 2. Ports, but everybody's going to get ports. So is it really a big quality of life? Because everybody's going to have them. It's just that if you're a wizard, it won't nuke your whole mana bar. But does that really matter that much? Evac, that's not. Evac's. I'd rather just die. Dying is the same as evac. Almost. Dying and evac are almost the same thing on this. People literally love wizard just for the ports. Well, yeah, that's true, but it's not a. Yeah, you just die. You just die, man. Ranger Gate. Yeah, it is Ranger Gate, man. Wizard bossing is in a weird place. I agree. It is in a weird place, Steve. They can mana blast to chunk bosses, but in higher, it's too much. Yeah. Evac is better because you don't have to rebuff. That's what I'm saying. It's almost the same. It's not actually the same, but it's almost the same. Go back to Ranger. We need to bump quality of life for Ranger Gate. Rangers are the best at Ranger Gate because they're the best at dying. All right, so where does Wizard go, guys? Where does Wizard go? Like, high B? Like, maybe here? Maybe here? Not quite the same. You don't need to collect your body. Yeah, that's true. It is not quite the same. Below Rogue? Same-ish as Druid? I think a Wizard's better than a Druid, personally. I would rather play a Wizard than a Druid.